Oh, well. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm not even going to use my notes today. Screw it. Screw it. I am just going to say I really hope that Shelly and Ace, I believe they do with their families, but I just really pray that my community just loves on them, encourages them, continues to protect and fight for them, because what they're about to walk into, very scary times. And my heart breaks, especially for Shelly, because the hatred that has been, that she has been receiving, so unwarranted, so unnecessary. And it's like, it's so sad. It's so sad that this was done to these young people on a national scale. And they have no idea. They're just in there playing the game. They have no idea that it's a whole race war and that people have teamed up to get them out just because they're Black. Those poor kids. This is why, just like Black lives, elections matter, guys. Like, I keep like I know it's just a reality show, but I'm telling you, we are regressing, and so many of protections have been lifted, and it's just like, this is what we fought for. Like, we fought so that things like this could not happen. But here we are. We're just going to get into it. This episode sucked. This episode absolutely sucked. I will start off with the good things. The good things was that the families came out and everybody had a really good time. It was honestly kind of weird how this episode started out, because we see Ace and Shelly in the hideaway. And here's the thing. I knew that Ace and Shelly were going. The reason why I knew is because they had a lot of screen time. And that's how you know in reality TV shows, you know that a person is going if they get a lot of screen time. And this show has never given Ace and Shelly this much screen time. So I knew that they were on their way out. And so my heart was just in my stomach the entire episode when I just saw that they were focusing on them so much. But Ace and Shelly are in the hideaway. They both come back. While they come back, they all get a notification. Well, not a notification. It was Amaya just came out running and said Family Day, and I'm like, what? Not a text or anything, but they all come out of the hideaway and they're all happy about Family Day. They all get ready for Family Day. The guys pull Ace to the side and they're talking to him, and they just want to know if he has sex. And Ace is just like, no, I did not fold. And I knew he wasn't going to fold. I knew the bishop was not going to fold. I do feel like if the bishop folded, the first lady would have been ready, but I knew the bishop was not going to fold. So anyway, they all get ready for Family Day. The first people's parents to come is Amaya and Brian. Amaya's family, they're on the screen talking to them, and then the screen shuts down, and I knew that the families was going to come around the corner, and both of their parents come around the corner. Amaya and Brian are hysterical. They're crying. They're so happy. They have really great families. Really, really great families. Everybody got along so well. Brian gets a call from his mom who could not make it there. He breaks down. He's crying. He starts talking to his best friend, who I thought it was Steph Curry. I thought that Brian's best friend was Steph Curry. But anyway, he's talking to his best friend, and he's just letting him know about how he feels about Amaya. I will say this. I'm glad that Amaya picked Brian. I still feel like he's not as into it as much as she is. And I'm concerned that this relationship will fall apart after the villa. We will see. We will see. And I think it will fall apart because Amaya will probably be expecting more from Brian than he is ready to give. Stick a pin in that. I feel like this reunion, if we have it, is going to be so messy. I think it's going to be so messy because this really was not Friendship Island. Like, I don't think a lot of these people are friends like that. And I'm just like, I feel like it's going to be a bloodbath. Anyway, Amaya and Brian's family, they come together. They tell both of them that they approve of the relationship. Amaya's mom, her and her relationship, I love it. They're so funny. She's so sweet and so caring. You can tell that they're really, really, really close. And I just really, I loved seeing them. Then next we have, I don't even know who I said I wasn't going to do my notes. Then the next couple that we have coming into the island. Oh, Iris and Pepe. I knew it was Iris and Pepe, and not because they were white, but because Iris's mom, they are twins. They are absolute twins. I will say this. I don't think that Iris's mom likes Pepe, because when Iris asked her mom how she felt about Pepe, and her mom was like, I'm picky. I was like, oh, well, that's enough. That's enough. I don't think that Iris and Pepe are going to make it outside of this villa. Like, they're not even closed off and they're going to the finale. America's about to look real different for the next 4 years. if we even get to vote in 4 years. But anyway, I don't see that couple making it to the next episode, to be quite honest with you. It was cute, but I was bored. I wasn't like interested in that coupling. Then the next is Chris and Huda. Chris's family comes. Chris just starts breaking down, and I immediately feel bad. The way he was wailing to his mama, I immediately feel bad for calling that man homeless Tyler Perry. So I would like to apologize, Chris. I did not mean to call you. I did mean to call you homeless Tyler Perry because I was pissed off, but I'm not angry at you anymore. I'm giving all the blacks grace. My God, today are y'all going through it in that villa. So Chris, he just immediately breaks down into his mom's arms. And I know that it's so much more than him just missing his mom. Huda is putting that boy through it. Anyway, he meets with his family, and I will respect Chris's mother and sister because their son is playing the game. They want him to win. I think that if money was not on the line, if there was not a win on the line, I think that Chris's mom would have been a bit more honest about how she really feels, because Chris's mother and sister loves Huda. And I'm just like, ain't no Black American mother. Ain't no Black American mother seeing her son go through the pains that he going through with this woman and say, oh, they love her for their son. And I don't believe it. I think they know that he's playing the game and that he has a good chance of winning. Huda's family, her sister in the red, stunning. Stunning. I said, OMG. My God, today, that girl was stunning. And did Huda look like her sister? You know what? Let me mind my business. Anyway, I will say the sister showed up to family day in the thong. That whole family is hot in the pants, child. I said, why are you in family day in a thong and a lace strap? The Huda girls are hot, okay? But they were just loving on her and letting her know that her daughter misses her. And then they showed her a video of her daughter, and Huda starts crying because the baby said, I'm officially finished school. The kid is so adorable. The next parents that we get is Shelly and Ace, and I knew because they just had so much screen time. I was like, Ace and Shelly are going home. I will say with Ace and Shelly, the families are beautiful. I knew that he had a praying mother, and I know his sister do not play about him. She said, all I have to say is hashtag Shelly's. Like, she loves those two. I believe that both families really love each other. And I think these two have a possibility out of anybody to really last outside the villa. When Ace got that message from his mom, I broke down because I knew. I said, I know this kid got a praying mother. I knew. And the way she was talking to her son and affirming her son and the way he broke down, I know she was proud of him and how he held himself in that village. Shelly's mom and her dad were there. They gave her a letter from her younger sibling. And I thought it was so beautiful. That her youngest sibling was just so proud of her. And then the last and final couple to get their family here was Nicolandria, Nick's mom. She loves it. She loves it. Like, I feel like she's ready to go wedding dress shopping with Alandria. She is just she sees her son. Nick breaks down. Nick broke down when he found out it was family day. So he was already ready. He breaks down in his mom's arms. Nick's mom and sister and Alandria's mom, they meet before they all walk in. And let me tell you something. Alandria get it from her mama. She got the same body. She get it from her mama. I said, not the mama stacked. My God, today. So anyway, her mom walks in, cakes on cakes. Okay. And they all hug and embrace, and the family's talking. Nick's mom is just like, so I know you guys have a name, Nicolandria, but can I give a suggestion, something even better? Nicolandria. She kept on saying it. She was so excited just to like see her son and just see like how, like you could tell that they could not say anything, but you could tell that she was just like so geeked and gagged to see Nick, and the way she hugged Alandria, she was just like, I have been waiting to meet you. Finally, she grabbed Alandria. This is the thing. Nick and Alandria are just, because for them, they got their coupling late. They feel like they can't believe that they're still in the game. They have no idea how huge they are. Like, they don't know. So it's so crazy. So for them, they're like, what and what? You guys are happy? You like this? Alandria's mom was just like, I was screaming at my TV, like, girl, you cannot see it. We knew from day one. She's like, really? My mom was like, he's always liked you from the beginning, but they can only say but so much. She's like, Mom, really? And her mom was like, yes, yes, he has liked you from, we have seen it from the beginning. So they both separated, and both of their families talk. And Nick's mom is just like, your dad loves Ace. And that just made Nick so happy. So that lets me know that friendship is going to last a lifetime. Nick's mom is like trying to say things to him, but she can't say it, right? So she's trying to like tell her son things about what's going on, but because of the show, she can't really say what's going on. And Nick is just like oblivious. I'm like, this kid has no idea. Alandria and her mom, they give me eldest daughter, young mom energy, because they are mom and daughter, but they are girlfriends. You know what I mean? But you could tell when the mom steps in, because Alandria was just like, I cuss good. And her mom was like, yeah, a little too good. And Alandria was like, but yeah, girl. Her mom was like, no, you're not going to hear me. That's too much. You got to bring that in. But Alandria is very country. My God, today, when she got with her mama, it was just like, ma'am, I can't believe that, mama, I cuss her good. I said, oh, we country up in here, child. You really want that country boy. So after they meet, both of the parents separate the kids and let them know that they are proud of them and they love the partners that they have. So both Nick and Nicolandria, while talking to their parents, are like, really? And they're like, yes, we like that. We like you guys for each other. And just think where Nick is, right? He was in the coupling with Sierra. His mom was just like, Nicholas, I can't believe it. Like on TV. And he's like, I'm sorry, it happened. Let's move on from it. But he's still thinking that his mom will probably want him to be with Sierra because he closed off with her and that was the strongest coupling. And his mom was just like, oh no, I love Nicolandria. I want her to come to dinner. Like she's coming over the house. Like that is it. And his mom was just like, I gravitated to her. From the beginning, I loved her. And I just knew that she was it. And he's like, are you serious? And she's like, yes, it's her. Like trying to let her son know from the beginning. I cannot wait for them to get out of the villa and just see everything. It's going to be crazy for them. But anyway, their parents leave and Nick and Nicolandria are just sitting there talking about like what just happened. And they both cannot believe that their families are like, yes, we want this, especially Nick, because he was just in a coupling with Sierra and he closed off. So they're like, what is going on? And that's why a lot of people are just like, oh, they're not affectionate or anything. And I'm just like, guys, you have to realize they don't see what we see. And so they think that they're moving at a pace that makes sense. And we're like, no, you two have been it from day one. Y'all have to make it work. So we want more from them, but we have to realize they don't have the information that we have. Like, if Nick knew his mom was rooting for him to get with Nicolandria, he would have been with Nicolandria for day one. If Nicolandria knew that her mom was rooting for her to get with Nick, she would have been with Nick. But they don't know these things. They don't see what we see. So I got nobody else to root for but them. I'm Nicolandria. I want to vote for Dominicana, but it's just not going to be realistic. After what happened to Shelly and Ace, I'm on my Black Panther Chronicles, okay? All black everything. So Amaya and Brian, maybe next time. But it seems like your community is coming out for you. So Landry's community is gonna come out for her. So that's where I'm at. But I will say, I like seeing their families. I like seeing how they were so happy and excited. And I like how they assured the both of them that they were very happy about this coupling. So then at the end of that, everybody leaves and we get a family dinner. And at family dinner, they're all eating, and then they get a text and they say, whoever has the lowest votes is going home. I absolutely wish that they would not have done that, because I think that it should have been two couples in the bottom and the Islanders had to choose. Here is why. The votes have been perverted. The votes have been perverted, and the show knows that. So it should not have been left up to America, knowing that the votes have been perverted. But it's not my show. So anyway, everybody gets a text and of who everybody has to open up a dining thing or whatever, and it says who's staying, and it's Chris and Huda, congratulations. Nicolandria, congratulations. Amaya and Brian, congratulations. And when it got down to Ace and Shelly and Pepe and Iris, I already knew that it was going to be Ace and Shelly, but it was confirmed for me because I was just like, yeah. No way. Oh, no way are they going to put the losers at the end to let us know who's going home. So our girl Shelly, let me bring them up. I'm so sad for these kids that they had a terrible experience, and it is so unfair that they were not protected. So Shelly reads it and she's pissed. She's like, oh, Shelly and Ace, unfortunately, your journey has ended here. And she gets up and she's like, bye. As a black woman, I knew exactly what she was feeling, because she knew something was up from the time that America Vote thing happened. She knew that something was up. And when she saw that, she was like, yeah, you could see it all in her. Just rage, rightful anger, right? So Shelly and Ace, they get together. Everybody's sad and crying. Nicolandria's crying, but she got to stay strong, right? She got to stay strong because obviously all of the Islanders were like, because everybody who leaves the villa says that Shelly and Ace are the strongest couple. Why are they eliminated from the show? So everybody there, when they saw that Shelly and Ace weren't going, they were like, everybody was confused. Iris and Pepe were like, we thought it was us, because that made sense, right? They don't know that the show has been overtaken and perverted by these like miserable MAGA people, right? So they don't know that. And they're all confused, but Shelly and Ace, they get up and go. And now we have the final four couples are Nicolandria, Chris, the final three, Nicolandria, Chris and Huda, and Amaya and Brian, and Iris and Pepe. I feel like it can go, I feel like this show is going to go either way. I really don't think it's going to be Huda and Chris because of, I have a theory. I'm not sure. We will see. I knew that Huda and Chris were going to be in the finale. I just didn't know that it was going to be Pepe and Iris and not Shelly and Ace. I think, yes, the votes were perverted, but I also think that people thought that they were safe. So they voted, everybody voted for Nicolandria thinking that Shelly and Ace were safe. And it was just a lack of communication that happened there, I think. But I don't believe that it's going to be Chris and Huda. I think it's going to be Nicolandria or Amaya and Brian. We will see. But I do want to say this. I don't think if Chris and Huda make it to the finale, I'll be shocked. Here is why I say that. When they were all going around giving their best moments, Huda gave her best moment, and one of her best moments was her growth on the show and coupling up with Chris in Casa. Chris's best moment was playing basketball with the guys and seeing his mom and sister. The way Huda looked at that man, if they get into an argument, Chris might self-eliminate. If they get into an argument, I don't think that he's going. And his family is still there. So already having that support system that's still there, and this woman is yelling and screaming at him, I don't think that I don't think that they're going to make it, but we will see. I will say this. I hate what was done to them. I hate what was done to the Black people on this show, but this is the result of the red pill agenda, right? We have to be honest here. Like us watching, especially us millennials watching the show, we hated it. Why? Because we're watching a bunch of red pill people, and the red pill audience who was voting for this doesn't see anything wrong. They think that Huda's actions make sense, because that is what we are dealing with. We're dealing with the most ignorant people who, it's honestly just lack of education. It's lack of education. And honestly, for us to be able to move forward as a community, unfortunately, I'm so sorry. I know we are tired. I know we have done it all. I know we wanted to take a break, and we just wanted to let the younger people go ahead and take it, because I will say this as a millennial, Gen Z looked mad promising. I was so proud. I just knew that they were going to take it home. And then I watched how a lot of them voted. And then I watched who the people that a lot of them platformed. And I was like, what the hell happened to Gen Z that quickly? And I will say this, at that young Gen Z, I'm not talking about Zennials, young Gen Z. I will say this, that frontal lobe is important. It really, really is. And if you don't have that, you are just easily, you're easily swayed, right? That's why, when we see like an age gap relationship and it's like somebody in their 20s dating a teenager, we're just like, I don't care about the age of consent. This person is not, they don't know what's going on. Like, what are you doing? You're 29. Why is your girlfriend 18? Because even if it's legal, you are still taking advantage of this person because they do not have the sense that you have or the fully developed brain that you have to make a decision that can be trusted. So I think what's happening, and I've known about this from the very beginning. The conservatives absolutely funneled money into streamers. They funneled money into streamers, into podcasters. Um, what is another one? It's streamers, podcasters, and influencers. And it worked. It just worked. It's even happening with leftists. It's working. And they are using the youth and a lot of misinformation to really just set us all back. And I'm sorry, millennials, you got to get up. Especially educated millennials, you are going to have to get up. You are going to have to fight. You are going to have to lead, and you are going to have to educate. And this also goes out to the liberals who like, myself included, who like to stay in our little bubble. We don't like, we don't like being around those kind of people. Just like, if they don't get it, we're just going to leave them alone. I'm sorry. You're going to have to go to Thanksgiving dinner, and you are going to have to talk to those ignorant family members, because we are in a very dangerous time. Yes, this is a reality TV show, but the takes that young people have been having about this show is extremely alarming. The kids are being red pilled, and they are the next generation of voters. My God, today, if this is where their minds are at now, where are their minds going to be if they continue to ingest this mess that they are seeing on the internet? We have already had our rights taken away from us as women. Who's next? Like, we really got to clock in here. I know we wanted to take a break. I know we wanted to rest. I know we are exhausted from living through so much trauma. One day we'll be able to rest. One day it'll be glorious. One day. We can't right now. It's very scary. Parents who are raising Gen Alpha, parents who still have an influence over your Gen Z kids, check in on them. Check their social medias. Talk to them. It's scary out there. We watched this entire season. We watched these women bend and break for men who gave them nothing. That was my biggest issue with the women on the show. I'm just like, these boys are not giving y'all anything. And y'all are refusing to stand up for yourselves. Y'all are refusing to speak your mind. It was such night and day from season 6. And it shows you how quickly things have changed. But as quickly as they have changed for the bad, they can quickly change back for the good. I am hopeful. But we got to check in on the misinformed, and we have to educate them, because we are going to be the casualties in this war. And I feel extremely bad for these young people, because they are going to come out of this villa and they are going to come into a firestorm from their own community, who is brutal, who is nasty, and who is extremely racist and misogynistic. Shelly, she was angry, and I could see it. I hope she don't get on that phone right away. I hope they do not take any interviews. I don't want them interviewing with anybody white. That's how strict it got to be. That's how strict it has to be. I hope whoever is in her team demands an apology from BuzzFeed to Shelly. I will say this. What is so different about this season is that people have gotten out of the villa. I have not heard that any of them signed with any agency. That's scary. Like, no agencies, no opportunities. They have all these followers, but it doesn't mean anything, because the season has become so negative. It started off so promising, and that fan base came in and just really flipped the script. I'm not going to solely put this on young people. It's definitely an issue of Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but it also is non-Americans. And that's the thing that I have learned communicating on the internet. Before I even engage with somebody, I go to their page. If it's private and if it's 3 people, I know I'm either dealing with a bot, no shade, or a South African. One thing South Africans love to do is to cause chaos in America by way of the internet. So we have to start clocking in like that and seeing what we are engaging with and what is real and what is just there to cause some kind of confusion. I feel really bad for these kids because it was a very promising season. I thought that everybody was going to be over a millions. I thought that they were going to be all getting crazy brand deals. I thought that agencies was going to be circling them. And I just feel like a lot of them are not going to have the opportunities that they would have had their fan base not been, had the original Love Island fan base not have been poisoned by those agitators. And it's just, it sucks for everybody. It sucks for the people who like this show and were watching the show. It takes away a good watching experience for all of us, the loyal viewers, but it also ruins the opportunity of these people who came on the show for the opportunities. And now a lot of them are in a worse off place. Alandria's account was hacked and they were posting stuff about Huda. For what? The racism that Alandria has received, the colorism that Alandria has received from everyone, including Black women. It's insane. I also want to say, I watched an interview. Where is he? I watched an interview with Taylor Clark, and I saw a clip of Coco in her interview with that weird girl that's faking being Black. But anyway, we'll stick with him for right now. We never got to see the real Taylor. I watched 2 Taylor interviews. We didn't get to see the real Taylor. I was just like, oh, this is who you are. He's still tight with Alandria, still got an issue with her, still mad at her for whatever reason. And he was just saying that he told her everything that was happening with him and Clark. So he was just like, I don't know why she was upset. So that's why I said to her, I choose Clark because everybody was mad at me. And I was just like, well, I've already talked to her and I've already let her know what it is. First of all, I don't believe him, because if you were honest with her and let her know that you don't want to be with her, you want to be with Clark, everybody would not have been shocked and pissed at you. So I think that he's lying to protect himself. I will say Clark seemed uncomfortable in the interview with him because he seems very angry because he feels like he should still be there. He said he's not shocked that he's left because he was in the bottom, but I think he feels like he should have still been there and is blaming Alandria for his experience being cut short. He did not seem nice in either of those interviews. Who did seem nice and who was somebody that I won't say I was shocked that she was nice. I was shocked that she wasn't as I was shocked that she was as uncomfortable as she was. Like Clark, like really, she would like let Taylor say some things. They did have some laughs and some chuckles, but she would, when it got to a certain point where she felt like it appeared to me where she felt like he was going into like a wrong direction, she would be quiet, to the point where the interviewer was like asking her like, hey, Clark, what do you think? And she really made sure she didn't say anything negative. She was very conscious of that. She was very positive. And I don't think it's media training. I think it's because she's actually still close to the girls in the villa, and whatever Taylor's issues were, she was not going to let that be her issue. But he is a totally different person. Not likable in my opinion, because I liked Taylor. I just didn't like what he did to Alandria. And then I'm watching these interviews and I'm like, why is everybody that comes out the villa so negative to the people who are still in there? It's absolutely insane. Like I really want to see the unseen bits, because I am so confused how everybody is so nasty to each other when they leave. And then what's her name? Coco is on some podcast talking about Alandria. And I'm like, you were there for like 4 hours. Why do you have beef with Alandria? But it just seems like everybody is just hopping on this bully train to bully Shelly and Alandria. And it's just like, for me, I was really disappointed in Coco, because I'm just like, you're dark. Like what? You think that bohemian wave sewing is going to protect you? What is happening here? I am like so disappointed in everybody. Oh God, I'm so disappointed in everybody. I'm sad for Shelly and Ace. I know Ace was heartbroken. I am more concerned for Shelly because one thing I know for certain, Ace is going to be okay. I promise you that Ace is going to be the most successful person that has ever come out of Love Island. The kid is talented. The kid is talented. He is going to work immediately. That's why I was asking in the beginning of my recaps. I was like, can he act? Because if he can act, he got it. So I'm not concerned about him at all. I am not concerned about. I'm concerned about Shelly because this world is not kind to Black women, and unfortunately, Black women within her generation are not being kind to her. It's the older women who are seeing what's happening is really pouring into her. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. So I just pray that she's okay and that she just has a strong community around her. Because one thing I will say about this, if Love Island, because remember, I was just like, this could give me Love Island UK season 5, but they had some hiccups. They had some hiccups, and Love Island UK has lost some people. I'm not saying that she will do anything to harm herself, but I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, and this isn't even me, I am grieving what is happening to the Black people on this show. From the way people are talking about them in social media, from the way that brands are attacking the Black women, that's to just watch, and it's not even me. And to see their families and younger siblings who are like, please stop this. Like, this is too much. And like, I'm just shocked that the show and the network have not done anything, because they did all of that for Huda and Vanna, but it's just insane. It's just insane. And I am so sad for them. I am so sad. Ace will be fine. Shelly, I'm very concerned about. Ace is going to soar. He is going to soar. He's right at the place where he needs to be. He is going to work. If anything, he might be the first person that signs with an agency. If anything, if he's not signed already. So for me, I'm taking them to the end. I'm taking them to the end. I hope that everybody got their votes in. We will see. We will see. And I will say this. They did not say, and that's they did not say that the votes were in any particular order, and they couldn't have been because of Shelly and Ace. But I'm hoping that the Nicolandria Hive, that they bring it through, that they bring it through. And I'm just praying for these kids when they leave the villa, especially the top 3 couples, Nicolandria, the top 2 couples, Nicolandria and Amaya and Brian. I am praying for them. My God, today, because if they end up being number 1 and number 2, them people are going to be the people that they were in the villa with. They're already switching up. So I'm just like, Lord, what are they going to come home to? This show started off so well. I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't think I'm watching this show ever again. That's how bad it is. And I'm not the type of person who I always want to fight. But I think I feel like walking away, not because of the fan base, but because of the lack of protection that I feel like the Black women have received. That bothers me. But one thing I know about my community, we're going to make our voices heard. We're going to make our voices heard. It may get ugly. We will see. Those are all my thoughts about this season. This episode, what do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Also, this is a call-in show. I am going to share the link to join. Here is the thing that I will say about this. If you're going to hop on here and speak, I am going to need for you to show your face. Because this is open and it's been a real crazy season, I cannot allow people who I can't see get up here, because if you're going to say something crazy, show your face and stand behind it. Show your face and stand behind it. So I shared the link. Hop on if you want to. I am now going to get into the comments. I'm first going to start off with my super chats, and then I'll hop into the comments. Let's start with the super chats. Brown Girl 44, thank you for the super chat. Brown Girl 44 said, America can't be trusted with voting. This is the time we're in. Rest in peace, Shelly. On the bright side, Nicolandria's mama is everything. Absolutely. Obviously me, thank you for the super chat. Obviously me says, some of the Chile pies are talking about voting against Nicolandria because if they can't happen, then nobody can. We've lost the plot, y'all. Make sure, that's what I'm saying. Make sure who you're talking to, because I've seen a lot of bots. I've seen a lot of non-Americans stirring up some lies, trying to say things. And this is the thing about Americans. It's because a lot of us know that our nation can be better. And so we critique it a lot. As we should, but we critique it to the point where we do not realize who we are. America is that girl. America is that girl that everybody is waiting to crumble. Like, America is that girl. So whenever there is an opportunity to scatter us, there will be people who are salivating, who are not American, who are salivating at the opportunity to do just that. It is jealousy. That's what Americans have to learn. Like, there are so many people who literally make money, or who literally have been able to garner a following just by making anti-American content, right? When people are like, Americans do this and Americans do that. And we're just like, what are you saying? Like, we're not even thinking about you guys. Why are you thinking about us? Because we're that girl. We are the Shelly of nations, okay? So we have to be very careful about who is saying what, because now I'm looking. If I'm seeing something, I'm like, is it a bot? Are you American? Nah, you're not going to come over here and scatter us. We got enough problems. I won't buy the propaganda. I'm blocking. So make sure that that's Shelly and not somebody just trying to divide the Americans even more. Thank you so much for the super chat. I will say this. I don't think Nicolandria is safe. I don't think Nicolandria is safe. And I have said it before. Iris and Pepe may take this win. We have to remember the times that we are in. And when you don't vote, or when you vote for conservatives, you vote for this kind of season. That's what it is. Like, we're going to be pushed into more conservatism, more white supremacy. And it's like, because a lot of things that have been put in place, a lot of discriminatory things have been put in place. They are now been removed. They don't need to be there anymore. So shows and jobs can discriminate now, guys, and you can't do anything about it. Elections matter. Elections matter. So it's just like, we can't cry racism because So we got to be careful. We got to buckle up. Thank you again, obviously me. RMS, thank you so much for the super chat. RMS said, Nikki, I want to thank you for being a joy during this season and for the consistency. I am gutted with how this show is going. I will continue to hold space for Shelly's. Nicolandria, it's yours. Amen. Thank you so much, RMS. Waddles, thank you for the super chat. Waddle said, I don't know what would make me madder. Have the first gen couple win papayas, or have an interracial couple with Nicolandria. Happy with either. Absolutely. Same. But I honestly, me, I would be happy with either. I'm rooting for the system, because this has now been turned into a race war. I'm rooting for Nicolandria. Hey, Paige, thank you for the super chat. Paige said, I think Chris's family approved simply because they are not in the mood for the social media backlash from his partner's fans. Absolutely. But I also think that they are, huh?
Can't find the link.
Mom, I shared it in the chat. Every time I share it, you can't see it. I'm gonna share it again. Excuse me. I also think they're trying. They're not going to jack up his chances. If money was not involved, it'll be a whole different ball game. Obviously, me. Thank you for another super chat. Obviously, me said Ola's mom was like, "OMG, you're so cute in person, Nick." She was like, "Okay, white boy, I see you. Maybe you're all right after all." Well, she told her daughter, "I been knew it was Nick." Nicolandria was like, "Really? They are going to be gagged when they get out that villa." Effie, thank you for the super chat. Effie said, "Everyone, please vote for Nicolandria." Absolutely, it's war now. It's war now. Always Prices, thank you for the super chat. Always Prices said, "Very much rooting for Nicolandria since we lost Shelly's. Side note, I'm from Mississippi. When I go home, my accent pops out like Ola's did. I loved it. It was cute." Chantel, thank you for the super chat. Chantel said, "Not I just walked in the house and you telling me Shelly and Ace is gone. My jaw's on the damn floor." Yeah, me too. But I knew it. Poor kids. Effie, thank you for the super chat. Effie said, "Vote for Alondria. Chris's mom is voting for Ola." I think so too. Paige, thank you for the super chat. Paige said, "When Chris gave his best moments, I promise you, I honestly thought he was going to go later, saying, 'Just kidding,' and Huda too. Yikes." Well, she's going to say something about it, and I don't think he's going to last. Paige, thank you for another super chat. Paige said, "Ace's brother and Brian's friend could have been bombshells." Okay, I agree. Her Royal Freshness, thank you for the super chat. Her Royal Freshness said, "Shelly and Ace going to get endorsements in book. They can hate all they want, but they ain't stopping God's blessings for them." Absolutely not. I absolutely see Sacred picking up Shelly. I absolutely see Shaker picking up Shelly, and I absolutely see Ace being a series regular. Like, these kids are going to work. They're going to work. I'm not as concerned for Ace as I am for Shelly. My mom found it. But I'm nervous, guys. I'm scared. I'm scared for her because that's just a lot. Like, I'm heartbroken watching it. So I can only imagine what she's going to feel enduring it. Like, it's just, I need the Black community to step it up with Miss Lady. I'm going to bring up Amina. Thank you for doing this, Amina. Give us your thoughts. You meet, okay.
Hello.
Hey!
Thank
How
you so
are
much.
you?
I'm doing well. I'm recovering from a flu, so if I sound a bit strange. And also I'm Australian, so if I sound a bit strange, bear with me.
I love it. You're so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I had to do this just for you. You said be camera ready.
Yes,
and
and
I'm
you
like,
are camera ready.
For Nikki.Star, we have to do it.
Yes.
I want to say thank you so much. I've enjoyed watching you. This was my year finding you. If Love Island is a bust after this, at least I found you.
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you.
No, you're most welcome. And we have to pour one out for Shelly or Chase, as they call them in the villa, because this was bad.
Yeah,
this was so bad.
It was.
I have a couple of notes because there were some things I wanted to bring up. I won't take too much of your time.
No good.
I want to clock Pepe real quick.
Clock it.
Did anybody else notice that he said people were seeing something from the start with him and Iris? I fear he's just stealing the Nicolandria storyline, because if you saw something from the start with them, please comment it. Because if I'm correct, they walked in together. So what were we seeing besides them walking in together as bombshells?
Exactly.
It's always weird when bombshells get together. It just feels sacrilegious to me a little bit.
Well, listen, we might have 2 bombshell winners for the first time ever.
I can't. Guys, please vote. I can't vote. But please. I'm a Nicolandria at this point, because it's just it back. We have to get it back in blood.
Yeah.
I saw a Cosmopolitan article that they're changing the way that they recruit and doing more social media, like background checking. I was wondering if you saw that.
Oh no!
Yeah,
look it up.
Like a couple of days ago, they were saying they're going to change the way that they recruit, which makes me wonder, what were they doing before?
Not much.
Clearly not much.
They were not doing much, and now because of what has happened with this show, they're going to be more strict. Like, there were some things that I had set up with the show that had to be like cut because ITV let down the hammer. Like some things have happened. It's been really insane.
Horror.
Yeah.
It's been horror. And speaking of things they cut, I noticed in this episode, there must have been so much we missed with the Amaya and Ace storyline, specifically because her saying her lowest moment was the way she spoke to Ace, and then him telling Brian to get the dub instead of Nicholas. What? I'm like, what have we not seen between these two? Mm-hmm. What? I was gagged, but
we've missed a lot.
We've missed too much, I feel.
Yeah.
But we won't miss that finale, please. And I would be surprised if what you said comes to pass with Chris leaving the show early, because the edit, they clearly don't want Huda on this show. And you've said it multiple times this season. Production tried to get her out of this show.
Yes,
and unfortunately,
they tried. It is the Islanders who kept her there. The show was I don't think that the show was protecting her. And I honestly think that bullying message, I do not think it was for Huda. I think it was for Vanna. But I have a theory, and I'll talk about that after the finale.
I was gonna say, are we gonna have to wait till after finale for this?
Yes, we are. We are. I want to see how it's gonna play out. I think I'm right, but we'll see.
Yes, and the last thing I wanted to say, I saw Janae was on live with Rob and Aaron from last season, and she was saying how. Oh, sorry. I think it might have been in the Keke Palmer thing, actually. She said how the production would sort of lead them. And it reminded me so much of something you said. And she said, like, they would say, it seems like this person hurt your feelings. Maybe you can go and talk to this person. So I'm wondering, do you think this season went the way it did because the cast was more producer-led? Like, more susceptible? Because from what Janae was saying, it was like her, Leah, Serena, they were just going to do whatever they wanted to do. But I get the sense that maybe this cast was a little bit more susceptible to what the producers wanted to happen.
Yes, that's what I think has happened with this show that was so different from last season is that it was influencer heavy. And that's what happens when these shows get popular. You get people who are looking to come to the show just for the popularity. Season 6 was different because although Love Island was a big show, it wasn't a big show here in America. Season 6 changed that, and it was like a phenomenon, right? So this season, the same thing happened. It's taking off, but they instead chose people who were like Ace had 1.2 million followers when he came to the show. So Sierra is an influencer, had a Love Island birthday party, like all Shelly is a model. I think Nicolandria was like the only normal person, but like everybody had something that they knew would take their platform to the next level. So when you have so many people on the show like that, you are going to get people who are more susceptible to being producer led, which is perfect. Producers love that. But then you also have people who are going to be very aware of themselves on the show and be very calculated. So I think the cast and the producers were probably butting heads because it was just all producing. It wasn't real living in the moment. So that's why the show changed so much this season. And I hope they go back to their old format, which is the Twitter challenge, movie night, and also just hiring regular people because Serena wasn't great. Serena was braiding hair back home and had like 500 followers on her braiding page. Like I think the only person who really came there with a big name was Cordell, and that's because of who his brother is. But we didn't even know that Odell Beckham had a little brother. So that was pretty much it. But now it's like an influencer heavy season, and you can't really work with people like that because if they're seeing or they're thinking that you're trying to make their storyline go a certain way, they're going to try to give themselves a different storyline, and it just has you going at odds and just butting heads. And that's why the season looked the way it looked, because there was so much pull and tug with the cast and production. I think that the cast was very susceptible to what the production wanted them to do, but then they also had what they wanted to do. And I think that just caused a lot of issues and frustration.
I just have to hold on to the hope that Molly May and Tommy didn't win, and we see how they went, and we have to remember that Jess and Sammy did win. Yeah. And we saw how that went. So guys, whatever happens in the finale, I'll be in the chat with you.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
Justina,
you
for
so
being
much.
here.
Thank you.
Bye. Next up, we have Mama Star. Hey, Mama.
Finally,
Hey.
hi, my love. Hi, Star family. Nikki, I tend to disagree with you.
I know. Go ahead.
Because your perspective about Shelly and Ace is they're gonna be fine. Shelly is going to be fine. Trust and believe. She
Hmm.
is going to be fine. I want you to know that them two getting together has really been a plus for them two.
Hmm.
Because first of all, they found love.
Hmm.
This is real for them too.
They found love in a hopeless place.
Yes. And you know, the bad thing is that they didn't stay on because Huda and Chris should have definitely be leaving, or Pepe and the girl,
Iris.
Iris, they should have been going. So the producers are realizing now that they messed up with getting Ace
Hmm.
and Shelly off, but they did not lose. They lost as far as the show is concerned, that they didn't win the money, but they won. They got each other.
Hmm.
They got screen time. They
Hmm.
will be picked up for a
Hmm.
lot of things. Trust and
Hmm.
believe. All this hate and all this stuff that these people are doing, that's social media.
Yeah.
I don't feed into that. I don't
Yeah.
feed into that. Black people are strong people.
Yeah.
And we are not going to let nobody take us down. We never have and we never will. She is going to be fine. Shelly's going to be fine. And Ace is going to be fine. And somebody put in the chat that they was hoping that they get a spinoff, Ace and Shelly and Nicolandria. I would love to see that. That
Me
would be
too.
a good spinoff, and everybody would watch it. Really would. But I want you to try to look at it differently. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I know that you're an influencer yourself,
Oh, not
and
influencer.
you're in the world, in that world,
Hmm.
so you know. But I'm telling you that don't keep on feeding that narrative
Okay.
that you're afraid for Shelly. She's going to be all right, and we're going to make sure that she's okay. And also, her, just like Ace is going to go everywhere, because first of all, Jennifer Hudson going to have them on,
You
because
think so?
Ace was on Jennifer Hudson before, teaching people how to dance.
Oh, okay.
So she's definitely going to have them on. Sherry Shepherd will have them on. Like, they will go on certain shows
Okay.
and they will be okay. And I believe that they're going to get a spinoff. But all kinds of brands is going to be calling them, and they're going to pick and choose what they want and what they don't want. They're going to be okay, honey. So let's not feed them people that trying to scare us and them. No, they're going to be all right. And guess what? We will fight back. We will push back. We're not afraid. We never have been, and we never will be.
Amen.
Mom Star has spoken, and she's still in the room. Don't take me out the room because it's hard trying to get on here.
Okay.
Like,
I'll
I
keep
want
you.
the Star family to realize that I have to go get the link and everything too. It's no special. I had to come up here and say, "Come on." I don't even have this link.
I'll keep you up, Mom. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Thank you.
Hey, obviously me. Are you ready?
Obviously, me.
You did it. This is your work.
Hi, my love. I love you.
Hey.
We did some
Hey.
work, didn't we, girl?
Yeah, we did.
How you doing,
Yeah.
my love?
Pretty good. I can't complain. I can't
Amen,
Amen.
amen,
complain.
amen.
I just want to say, something for the Nicolandria stands. Um, Nicolandria already won.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Period.
They won. Hmm.
I mean, episode 21, that kiss in Soul Ties was the kiss heard around the world. I'm sorry. They won. They got all the brand deals. They did.
The
Period.
NFL is still posted about them. I just saw before I hopped on here, they just did a new post.
NBA, I mean, every head and shoulder shampoo is riding with Nicolandria.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so hyped. That's why they brought him back.
Yeah.
The producers, I will admit, the producers have prioritized money over their fan base. Whether that means they go for the fan base or they go against it, like Shelly and Ace.
Yeah.
Some people in the comments were theorizing that Shelly and Ace were removed because it makes it smoother for Nikki and Nicolandria to win.
I
Because
can
you weren't
believe
having
that. So that the
people
vote
splitting their
won't be.
vote.
So that the vote won't be split.
Well, I believe I can agree with that. The producers doing that, and I can also agree where people were splitting the vote. So that's probably why it happened that way as well. And I think it's also because people were doing it in desperation because what has been happening to the show for the past week or the past 2 weeks.
And after their night, in the hideaway, that was so cute. People was definitely going to vote for them.
Yeah.
That, and when people, and I know it said no particular order, but the Hive was freaking out about, but Nick and Alondra should never stand up there with Clark and Taylor. I do agree with that. That was kind of foul. That was kind of foul. But it did scare enough people into being like, never have them think that they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
Basically. Which I'm glad the parents came in and were like, no, people are rooting for you. But I mean, but at the same time, like, it wasn't supposed to end this way. It was not supposed to end this way.
It wasn't, but it makes sense. It do make sense.
How so?
Because like obviously me said that we would have split the vote.
Yeah.
It made sense to let them go ahead on and go because they're going to prosper too. They're going to prosper from their relationship.
Yeah.
But it's set up for Nick and Alondria to win.
Well,
So
Denise said Shelly would have been okay if they had made it look like Nicolandria were in the bottom two.
If they hadn't what?
Made it look like Nicolandria were in the bottom two.
Okay. Well, with them out of the picture, everybody will put all of their support behind them, which they're going to win anyway. But so it can look like everybody voted for them because they're going to win.
Yeah.
But I need a little more, like everybody was saying in the comments, I need a little more affection. Girl, give it to them. Bring it to them. Give it to them.
Here's the thing. I think we might get that now because they both got their parents' approval. We have to realize they don't see what we see. Alondria's mom was like, I knew it was him from the beginning. And I was just like, why can't you see it? She was shocked. Okay. Nick's mom was just like, I knew it was her.
Because nobody said anything about Taylor or Sierra.
Nope.
Bingo. Nope. It was,
and that's why Nick was shocked because Nick was in a coupling before Nicolandria, so he thought his mom was going to have something to close off. He thought his mom was going to have something to say about Sierra, but his mom was all about Nicolandria, and she said, "Oh, I knew it was her from day one."
Yeah.
So I think having their parents' approval will help them move it along, and they're also going to get a date, so we're going to see them on their dates. So,
that's going to be cute.
We will see.
That's going to be cute. But this is going to be a long hour. Is it going to go into 2 hours?
I don't know.
Because this is going to be a long finale.
We will see, child. We will see. But I think we might have 2 couples in the finale, 3 couples in the finale.
Well, what we going to get rid of somebody from the door, but we need to get rid of Huda and
I think Chris is going to self-eliminate because if she gets in an argument with him,
he don't want her.
He doesn't.
He wanted to hear what his mother had to say. When he heard his mother, after all that, he said, "Listen, I don't want to be stuck with her.
Hmm.
Mm-mm, mm-mm." And she felt it. She felt it because when he said his highlights and it didn't include her, she felt it. The camera panned right in on her.
Hmm. Yep.
I will
Because he
say
said,
one thing. This I don't know if you're keeping up with Love Island UK, but they just had their movie night. Y'all, they ate us up. Um,
really?
We gotta
yeah,
watch that. Oh my gosh, they
that
get
was
ready to go off
good.
too.
I think they're like what, 2 weeks, 2 weeks behind.
Yeah, they're not quite at their finale yet. They still
Yeah.
got like they just finished Casa actually,
Yeah, they have some time. I think they got like 2 weeks left. No, you know what?
and
UK is longer. So they probably got
yeah,
like 3 or 4 weeks. I think they have like almost 2 months in there. They have like 58 days. I think we have what, 20s? What do
Are
we
you
have?
gonna pick that show up or are you gonna go into another show?
Well, Love Island UK has been terrible to the black girls as well. So I don't know if I feel like
I will say though, they do have a black woman in there, and I wanted to mention this because it was like so like it just okay. So I will, of course, emphasize like yes, like there was disrespect towards the black woman in that villa. However, she did find somebody, and she is coupled up with this. Like it's crazy the fact that the person she's coupled up with is a man from Central Europe who is willing to give her a try and like explore with her when all the black men and everybody else like didn't. And I'm like, is this where we're at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know people talk about Nicolandria, and I'm like, it's giving like Taylor wasn't giving anything back.
mm-hmm.
And then you have like some of the most, for some people, the most unlikely people giving the black woman a try. And I'm like, there's just a weird mirroring that's happening with
Yeah.
UK. And I'm like, interesting. But like at the same time, movie night did her good. Movie night did her really good. I don't know who was producing that, but like movie night vindicated her.
We gotta check it
And
out.
like,
We gotta check it out.
Okay.
yeah,
You
but
know
that's
what?
all I
And
came on here to say.
I wouldn't be mad at a show with Ace and Shelly,
Hmm.
Nick and Alondria, and Taylor and Clark. I wouldn't be mad at that because they're friends.
Yeah.
The
I
boys are
think
friends.
I think we're going to see something with the guys. I think the guys are definitely going to do something. Ace has over 1 million followers. He's going to do some YouTube stuff. Like they're going to like I'm not like I said, I'm not worried about them like that, but I am
Hmm.
worried about Shelly because of just how brutally she has been treated, not by the
Mm-mm,
fans, but by like major brands. So
mm-mm,
I'm just like
mm-mm,
for her
mm-mm.
because to not have a clue about
That
what's going
beautiful
on,
black girl.
her mom,
That
listen, for to not have a clue about what's going on and then to come out to all that hate, I'm just like, I want her family to be around her, to protect her. And like even Vanna, when her mom was just like, don't get on your phone until you're with me. That's what I'm saying. Like I just hope that she's protected.
well, when her mother came, her mother and her father, they didn't seem like anything was
Well, they
you know,
can't let
they
them know that anything is going on.
but we are black people. And let me tell you one thing. Her mother would have gave her a little something. Her
Okay.
mother, they didn't they didn't seem worried or concerned about their daughter. And I don't care what the producers done said. You will say something as a black mom to your daughter, be careful or something. You know what I mean? One word or something would have hit. But her mother and her father didn't seem worried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to deal with that narrative because guess what? Fear is something. You know what I mean? If you fall into fear, you that can take you somewhere else. I'm not concerned about her. She's a beautiful black woman, and she is going to get um a lot of work. Trust me. We'll talk
I
about it
believe you.
later.
We
Watch.
will.
We will.
Obviously, me. Anything else you want to say?
No, that was it.
Okay. Listen, I will say
Love
this.
you.
You manifested everything. You better
I
work. You did
Hey,
this. I remember when you was fighting for them in the chat, and I was like, I don't see it. Here we are. You ate that up.
hey, like I
You
know.
ate
You
that
know
up.
what? I manifested it like it pays my rent.
Yeah,
It really did. Like,
you did that. Thank you so much for being here. I'll
oh,
see you
thank you.
soon.
take care, my love.
Hey, it's Simone. You ready? Let's go.
Hi,
Hey.
hi, Mama
Hi,
Star. Hi,
hi,
Nikki.
my love. How
Hey.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. And you both are so beautiful, and them
So
curls are
are
popping.
you.
Oh, thank you. You too.
They
Gorgeous.
going out to happy hour, and I had to rush home to join the Star fam.
Yes.
Episode. First and foremost, I will have to say I'm not pleased with the way that Love Island hasn't responded to the racism.
Right.
They haven't even made a statement like they did with the Vanna situation. They could have
Mm-hmm.
just done that really quick on their social media or even in the beginning of the show. And the fact that Ariana has now started blocking people from what people are saying on TikTok.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, because they've been going in her comments like you being really weird because you're pretty much condoning the bullying on
Mm-hmm.
Shelly and Alondria, and she's been blocking them.
Mhm.
I'm also not appreciating a lot of the Black TikTokers that are condoning the bullying, saying that they don't care if Huda says certain things or whatever. And now, because people are calling them out, and they're getting backlash. Now they're backtracking and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, well, I didn't mean it like this. But you put that out there. So that was like the
Mm-hmm.
signal. So I really am seeing the anti-Black, and I watch Love Island UK as well. Right now I'm trying to like put on the back burner because USA is on. And I feel bad because on UK, a lot of the fan base are like, we want to watch USA because the Black women get more love.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
it is true. On the UK, you don't really see that. The Black women are just as beautiful, melanated, and
Mm-hmm.
they tell them, oh, I will ghost you if we were in or outside the house. And so stuff like that just makes me realize, like, obviously the society we in is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
time. It's the
down.
time that we're in.
It's the time. And the way that the votes are going is just,
Weird.
Mhm.
but yeah, I'm sad to see Shelly. I did see that I think Complex News has an interview right now that they just released about 30 minutes ago
Oh,
with
really?
Shelly and Ace. Yeah, it's on their Instagram page. Because I was telling my homegirl, do not go on social media yet. And she first thing popped up was the
Oh
interview with Shelly and
no.
Ace. And it looks like they might have done it within the last 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So it's just them talking about their experience and about them being exclusive now outside of the villa.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm praying that her, like you said, her family wraps their arms around her because she's really
Mm-hmm.
gonna need it, because the way that the brands are also condoning the bullying,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
It's
it's
insane.
wild. It's
It's
wild. It's one thing from influencers, like, but
yeah.
brands, like legitimate brands. And also I'm with Nicolandria or Brian and Amaya. My only thing with Brian is I clocked him with Jaden. So I still got my eye on him because
Yeah.
when Jaden got eliminated, he was like, oh, we're gonna connect outside the house. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
same way with Brian. Like,
Um,
I listen, I know we love our Maya Papaya, but Love Island, we got to vote for the strongest couple.
yeah.
And Nicolandria right now, although it's so crazy because we are going to the finals and nobody is closed off. The one closed off
How
couple
is that
got
possible?
eliminated.
How is that possible? How can the show allow that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I thought there were rules, but maybe that is not a rule. Also, we're going to we have everybody in the finale. None of them are closed off, and the majority of them are bombshells.
Everybody that get closed off, they get eliminated after they close off.
That's been the season.
And
That has
I've
been
been
the
keeping
season.
all the castaways interviews. They bitter. They all been
Yeah.
hanging out. They've been going out to the club. Like you said, I haven't seen anyone signing with like a agency.
It's so
No
scary.
partnerships. Everybody's just been doing interviews on like D-list
Podcasts and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like even
It's
with
not
the
like
Coco. Yeah.
last season, they were coming out to like huge interviews. Before the season wrapped, Cordell had a Cheez-It collab. Like he had a deal with Cheez-Its. Like as soon as like it was the season finale, on Monday, we were hearing that half the cast signed with UTA. I'm like, there's nothing. These people the cast are literally getting together and like going to bars voluntarily so people can see them. Something has switched.
I think I seen something with Amaya and I don't know if it was Shelly or Landria, Fenty.
Amaya, yeah, Fenty hit up Amaya. They DM'd her and they said, check your
Yeah.
DMs when you leave the villa because
Okay.
they want to work with her.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, people were like, well, what about Shelly and Nicolandria? Like that should
Okay.
also be your target too. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they reach
Oh, I
out.
think that Shelly and Nicolandria are going to get. I think that Shelly is going to get a Fenty deal as well. I think that Shelly is going to get a Sacred deal. I think that Nicolandria is absolutely going to work with Danessa Myricks, and I think if she's not at Miami Beach Week, that's insane.
Oh yeah, she definitely is a Miami. I've modeled in Miami some week, and she definitely would be.
Yes, I know that's right.
She would fit in. Like she is exactly what brands and swimwear designers are looking for with her body.
Definitely,
type.
definitely.
So she is T, like from head to toe.
Yeah.
I've been noticing that. I've been peeping like TJ been doing club appearances with Austin, Graceland.
And nobody is inviting them. They're doing it on their own.
Yeah, they just they went on a Sprinter van. JD with his music video and Vanna for her 22nd birthday. Like they all are linking up. And I think one of them posted like a TikTok. It popped up on my FYP and they were like, oh, they were just doing a content creation day at a mansion in LA. They all just met up in LA and were filming TikToks. And I was like, okay.
The cast is trying to make something happen. There's no team, there's no agents, there's no managers or nothing. I'm like, I cannot believe that people are not circling them. And that just shows you how bad this season has gotten.
Wow.
So sad.
Well, I think they bit off more than they can chew with these influencers.
They
did.
And I hope the producers are kicking themselves for that because yes, the only profitable couple is Nicolandria. Because also the NFL, like you said, the New Orleans Saints been doing video edits, just seeing how much they're excited for Nicolandria with the touchdowns and
and that's a big endorsement.
Oh yeah, every
NFL, they're going to be at every game. They're going to be at every game
and every team. Oh, and a lot of people are like, oh, since she talked about the SEC, because I'm also a football girly too. They were saying hopefully they'll be at the football games as well for college football.
Because she did give a plug, and Nick said, "Well, I guess I'm going to be in Alabama."
Well, listen, Alondra is already go. As soon as she gets out the village, she has to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Because his mom is making her dinner.
I hope she bring her own seasonings, but
don't do that to Marcel.
No, she can't bring her own seasoning. She gotta just eat it. She gotta like it. You know what I mean? Listen, you gotta give to give. You know what I mean to get. You know.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much. I've been watching you. I actually started following you because you were on Auntie's Advice panel. And so I started following you from back then, and it was lock up when y'all were talking about that 90-day fiance. So I've been following, watching in the bushes, and I just wanted to come up and say hi.
Thank you. You're so sweet, and thank you for being a loyal Star family member. I appreciate.
Yes, and we love you.
Thank you. I love y'all both.
All righty.
Have
a great
lock
weekend.
In for Sunday, child. My God, today.
Bye.
All righty. Amma, you ready? Let's go. There's the beauty. Hey,
my love.
Hi guys.
hi.
How are you?
I'm blessed and happy.
Great.
How are you?
You're
Good.
so beautiful.
Yesterday I was talking to my mom and I'm like, Mom, somebody was gassing me up yesterday. Nikki was gassing me. I said, no.
I told you I am not gassing you. I'm telling you the truth.
Period.
Let's move on. Thank you. I have notes. I have a lot of notes.
Okay, let's go.
One, watching Love Island in the political state that we're in feels like the Met Gala during the Palestine protests. Like I feel like these things aren't matching up. This is a little bit. It feels a little bit uncanny. Like they're trying to have a la-di-da time, and they are because they don't have their phones.
Mhm.
But as soon as you look the other way, you're like, oh, there's all that other stuff happening. But also, I've been coming to you and like watching your videos, and I hear you talk about what's going on socials, but I've decided to watch the show with no socials. I don't know what anyone's doing.
Smart.
I'm watching it as a Black girl and a Black girl alone. But recently I talked to my friend about the show, and she's white, and her opinion on the couples threw me for a loop. She was like, oh my God, I love Pepe and Iris. I was like, what? What are you talking about? They're very boring. God bless them. They're very, very boring. Dry boots. I said,
that's why I don't understand why they wasn't eliminated.
I said, Huda or Chris or Iris and Pepe. First of all, Pepe, you're scamming, and don't worry about it. I see.
Iris are not making it out the villa. Iris's mom, I told everybody from jump, Iris and TJ worked because Iris and TJ are wasp. Iris's mom, when Iris asked her about Pepe, she was like, no.
It was for me when they asked, Pepe's parents asked, like, what do you like about Iris? Like, he had very generic things to say. He didn't have anything really to say about her personality. He was like, I like that she's a badass. What does that mean, Pepe? Expand.
Right.
We had time. Expand. He just doesn't know what to say, because to him, he's like, I feel like the way he went about dating her and what's just her name before, it just felt like he just needed a woman. Just a woman of any sort, like, really a blonde woman. He just needed any blonde woman to stand.
She had to be short, though. Grayson was too tall. Grayson was too tall.
And I'm not judging. I'm just
he likes a petite
blonde. But yeah, there's that, and also I loved seeing Nicolandria's mom and her. Their vibe. I was like, it's like sisters but parent, but sisters. Yes. I love it. And she's like, Mom, am I serving? She said, girl, you're serving.
Yes, body
and face. Body and face. Yes.
I was like, yeah. I literally screamed out. I was like, yeah. And did. Like, she was sitting in the chair. Every time she comes on, I get the same feeling when I see Nicolandria that I do with Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I'm just like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you see her abs this episode?
Did you see how her and her mom have like the same body? Like her mom just grown. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Well, her mom was fighting people on Twitter who was saying that she had a BBL. Her mom was like, no, she got that from me.
That's not a BBL.
Okay. She didn't lie. She got that from her mama.
That's a BBL to the untrained eye. I know when I see one. I saw her mom and I was like, oh, how does it feel to know you're going to be sexy when you're older? How does it feel?
Because that's her mom's body.
Anyways, let me get off. That's not
and baby, she was walking, honey. She was walking.
Walk with it. Walk with it.
Walk with it in that one piece. I said, yes, girl. What?
I said, girl, go ahead on. She said, your father is okay. I said, I bet he is.
Right. And honestly, I've been really enjoying just seeing, even though with all the chaos, like seeing Black girls on the show. Just because I used to watch UK when I was a teenager. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not healthy for any Black girl. And when it kind of veered to the US, I was like, okay, we have some kind of, people are treating them like actual options. There's surprise. Like, yeah, they're treating them like people, which I appreciate. Another thing that I thought of, I love the way Nick acts with Nicolandria. I need a man like that who's going to tighten up every time I see him. Like, he does not play about Nicolandria at all.
Period.
And I just...
That is his girl.
I'm like, how do you get that? Can you tell me?
Well, see, the thing about it is, what we watched was Nick settle, and then Nick go after who he really wanted.
Yeah.
And I was just like, if nothing happened from this season, I hope women watch this and learn what it looks like when a man is settling, and what it looks like when a man is pursuing what he actually wants. Because it was clear as day who he wanted and who he settled with.
I started to get, every time he was with Sierra, I started to get depressed because he just looked like he just did not want to be there.
He dissociated every time he was with her.
And he was trying to stay on the show.
Yeah. Which I get.
Yeah. It's also a competition.
Yeah.
Right.
So these people are going to stay on the show. The same thing with like Chris's mom and his sister, because Chris was nervous. He was, when everybody heard Family Day, everybody got excited. Chris was sitting in child pose, sick to his stomach, because he was like, my mom and my sister, I know them. I'm just scared of what they're going to say, because he knows that if they're watching what's happening with him and Huda, he knows how they are. So he was afraid that his mom and sister were going to come here and turn up and protect him.
Yes, he was so surprised that they didn't.
Exactly. I don't think he was surprised, but I think he knew what was going on, because his family can't say, oh, we don't like her and we don't like how she's treating you. You have to stand up for yourself. We don't think this is a good environment for him. It's a game show. He could they feel like they could take his chances. So I knew then and there, from Chris's reaction to Family Day to his mom and sister saying, oh, we love her.
Yeah.
And didn't do anything else.
Okay.
They didn't say anything else about how much they like her. They were just, we like you guys.
They just called her pretty like 7 times. And I said,
there was nothing else that they had about her, no depth. Yeah. Nothing. They were just
because after they left, he changed up.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But he looks like how Nick did when he was with Sierra. He just was always unhappy. Never
associating.
He said, my favorite time in here was when I got to play basketball. I was like, okay.
I was looking at my screen gagged. I said, because he said the first thing, and I was like, oh no, he said the first thing was basketball. I was like, okay, so the second thing has to be Huda. He was like, and the other thing, my family.
Yeah, and she looked.
And she got quiet. She gonna cuss that boy out.
But you can tell that she doesn't. First of all, she cannot regulate her emotions very well, but also you can tell that she doesn't see herself in a macro view. Like, she only sees herself from inside out. Because when he said, oh, I just loved, because if anyone's analyzing their own behavior, why would he say that his favorite time was with you? You've been miserable this whole time. Yeah. But to her, she's like, I'm making so much progress. I'm doing so good. I'm like, no, baby, you've been doing good for you. The relationship is not good. You're getting better. And it's kind of scared me how her sisters were like, you're doing better. I was like, does everybody know she's great?
No. But when we saw Huda talking to her family, I was like, oh, this is how we got here. Yeah. Nobody's honest with her. And we had already talked about it earlier in the season, where she is in an environment where her behavior is not tolerated, but she's probably coming out of an environment where they tolerate that behavior, or she comes from women who treat their men like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't everybody else. And like, she gets in this villa and everybody's just like, what are you doing? Like, something is wrong. So this is the first time she's probably ever been checked for that behavior. And this is probably the first time that she's ever dealt with a Black man who is not accepting of her behavior or treating her like she's this precious prize.
But
so go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just want Chris to know that him staying there is accepting, although he is giving her pushback
and having sex with her.
As long as you keep men, I need to say something. Men, if you don't like a woman, please don't sleep with her. Like, that's all. Like, what? Especially because he's like, Huda, we have so many problems, but I'm just going to go bang you really quick, and then we can talk about the. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because when a man gets up, he washes the experience off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a woman, he inserted himself in her, so she carries it. So that's how come he could walk away. Because he just take care of himself and go ahead.
Yeah. See, I would respect Chris if he would just be like, you know what, me and you're not in a good place. Let's just cut all this off. Because it's like the way he's talking, I'm like, I hear you, bro, but you're not a victim, because you don't have to give her pole. You can put it away. I folded. No, you didn't. You wanted to have sex.
Right.
Like, I don't like Ace, he never folded. And look at Shelly. He never folded.
Ace and Shelly have become everything to me.
Yeah.
And when they got, honestly, I was really shocked when they got kicked off. I was like, what's happening? Again, I'm not on social media, so I don't know how bad. I hear you saying how bad the racism is, and I believe you, but I'm not on there. So whenever the vote came out, this very weird vote, I'm like, okay, what's going on? But it's not enough for me to look. I don't want to look. I don't want to see. And my last thing is for everyone saying that Nicolandria is not showing enough affection. I just want to vouch for the girls who are a little bit scared of affection. And also, in my adult life, Black men and white men flirt different.
Yeah.
And I learned that literally 6 months ago. And I'm not even joking. 6 months ago, my friend was like, he likes you. I said, we just had a conversation. Yeah, that's how they do it. They just talk to you. And Nick's way of flirting was not getting through to Nicolandria because I think you said this yesterday when Black men like you are aware.
You know.
It's not a secret. They'll tell the city actually. And I'm used to that too. And I feel like Nicolandria just wasn't catching it, not because she didn't want to catch it, just because she was like, oh, we're just having conversations. But to white men culturally having a conversation, which to me, like they're thinking like, why would I be talking to you if I wasn't attracted to you? Which there are issues in that for me, but like I'm like, that's why she didn't catch it, because she culturally they're having a cultural impasse. They don't.
That's exactly what it is. They have to. It's sad to say, but they have to have Ace there coaching them.
Yeah.
Without Ace in between, like he's the coach of the villa. Without him there, they are having cultural miscommunication, and that's what it is. Like Nicolandria is waiting for Nick to just pursue her. Nick is thinking that he's doing everything to show her that he likes her, but it's like, you're telling her, you have to show her. Because Black men do two things. They show you and tell you at the same time how much they're interested. And that's what she's used to. So she's waiting for that. And she's like, I like him. Like, even when they were in the photo booth, you know, she had to, like, Nick was like, too, and she just grabbed his hand and said, yes, you can do it, Nick. It's okay. But he's like, he's moving at like such a different pace with her because he also respects her so much. And he's intimidated by her because he feels like she is out of his league. He has never dated a woman like Nicolandria before. And he is just he's on like pins and needles with her because he doesn't want to mess it up. But she is like, I need more from you, because the men who want me, show me. He got to show up.
It's weird. You have to learn the person. Like, what does showing mean to him?
But I like it though.
I like it too. I'm gonna say,
you know, the small steps and him telling his boy, like, I want her. Like, I want her. Like, how am I going to get her? I absolutely like it. And take your time. Don't just throw yourself on him, Nicolandria. Let him come to you. Bring it to you.
Yeah, it's the sweetest.
I think we're going to see a little speed up on Sunday.
Yeah. When after they kiss, and even this episode, I was like, oh, they're so. Also, the way they talk is like a business meeting, but a romantic business meeting. Whenever they sit down, she's like, I think he's like still a little silly, but she's very pragmatic, which I like about her. But he'll be like, you know, I'm just really happy to be here. And she's like, okay, I think we should move forward. And like, she's so funny. I love that. But he understands that that's her way of communicating. It doesn't mean that she's not happy. Even when they were at the table, they got voted in to stay. And she said with a straight face, I'm so happy. And I was like, that's just how she is. You just but she's happy. She just needs to smile all the time.
And she's the oldest. She's always had put together. She's always very put together because she's always had to be. And seeing her with her mom lets me know that I don't think there's a very large age gap with her and her mom.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I feel like she's had to take on a lot too, as the eldest child.
Absolutely. The eldest child is the leader of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows that her siblings are watching her. You have an older sister
Yeah.
who leads like that. Her
Mhm.
younger sisters or siblings are watching. So she
Yeah.
is,
Yes.
she's she don't want to make mistakes. And even on this show, she's carried herself like uh 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 Amaya and Iris, they butt was all over the daggone place when the family came in. No, put that butt away. Alondria had something over her and Shelly. Even Huda had on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But them two had their behind all over. I said, oh, this too much. Now people,
Mhm.
family coming, you got to
Even
be
like,
respectful.
yeah, even
Something
watching,
on.
even on the UK show, watching the black girls, we're allowed to do a lot less. Like, you can't act giddy and ditzy and just chill out and vibe and whatever. You do, but you kind of are aware that you're
Oh.
being watched all the time, and you can't just make out with a bunch of people. And
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of, even his mom described her in a way, Nick's mom described her in a nice way, but also a way that I thought was poignant. Like, she said, I like her, she's poised, and she used the word strong as well, which I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I know what you mean, girl, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but that's, I'm like, yeah, it's all humans perform, but it's a performance of a black girl specifically.
Yeah.
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 And I'm like, I
But
wish
the
I
mother
like
couldn't say too much, but she
Yeah.
wanted him to know that I approve.
Yep.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
She was
fact that
like,
she's like, she's coming to our house and I'm making her dinner, Nick.
yeah.
Like, and this is the thing with Alandria's mom and Nick's mom, they can't say too much. So
Mhm.
they are saying stuff
Yeah.
without saying it.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
mom, because even Alandria's mom, she was just like, oh, I can't, I'm saying too much. I can't say that because she was saying it's been him. I was screaming at my TV like
Mhm.
he's right there.
Mhm.
It's always been him. And his
Leave that
mom is saying the
cowboy
same thing.
alone.
Yep.
I told you, like, it reminds me of Tom Holland and Zendaya so bad.
It is.
Because
It
Zendaya
is.
dated, she thought she wanted a tall man. I get her. I'm
Mhm.
5'11". I understand what's happening.
Mhm.
But like, she dated everyone around him. And
Yep.
he just said, I'm here again. White men flirt differently.
Yes.
So him just being around her was like, you should know that I like you. No, sweetie, we
Wherever
don't know.
she was at, he was there. And she had no idea that he liked her. I'm like Zendaya.
I used to,
Girl.
when I was 16, I turned my friend one day. I was like, she's so stupid. He's right. He's there,
right
but
there.
that's what's happening. And again, just some cultural impasse they have to get used to
Mhm.
saying like, oh,
Mhm.
this is,
Yeah.
I think even working in white space, I'm like, people are perceiving me a certain way. And I'm like, no, this is just how my family communicates. We're just very blunt. I'm not being mean or
Mhm.
rude. I'm just saying, I don't like that. Can you stop?
Yeah.
And to them, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Cultural
But
differences.
I look for it. Nicolandria. If I can't have Shelly and Ace, I guess I'll just take them.
I think listen, if it goes the way I think it is, I think although I'm sad that Ace and Shelly are going, if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, this had to happen so that we can get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Nicolandria win. It had to, because as you can see, the votes being split does not work
No.
for the people that we want to save. So
I think Pepe and Iris are gonna win.
you think so?
Yes. I said the climate, they just need two
Yeah.
white looking people, I think. And even
Yeah.
though their conversations are juvenile, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I don't believe you. We'll talk about it on
We'll talk
Sunday.
about it on
I don't
Sunday.
believe you. Nick
We'll
and
talk about it on
Alondria,
Sunday,
if
child.
you watch the show, it's so calculated. They brought them back. They are the only couple that they brought back. They both got voted
Listen,
off,
That's true.
I will say this from a
and they
production
brought them
standpoint,
back.
not just a production standpoint, a network standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
When they kept on saving them, I said, "There's no way that they're
Right.
going to let these people leave their show.
Yeah.
They see so much money with this couple.
Yeah.
I knew they were not going to let them leave. So if
They're
it goes
going
the way
to
I
win,
think it's going
honey.
to go, we'll
They're
talk
going
about
to
it on Sunday.
win.
Yeah,
They're going to win. I'm going to have a
Okay.
glass of champagne on Sunday.
I got
no,
one for
you're
you.
not.
Yeah. Nikki, let her go. She's
No, I let her listen. I let her go on Juneteenth, and she drank a half a bottle of Sir Davis.
That's her right.
Everybody is saying the same thing. Nobody is on my side.
Sorry.
And
Listen,
it wasn't a half a bottle, Nicole.
With my mom, I'm like, she's grown. I can't stop her. Let her go. I'll just drive her home. It's fine.
Let her have her fun. You know what, Mama? Pop your champagne.
Bingo.
All right.
Bye, Thank you, Mama. Love you.
Bye, my love.
Bye. Mom, I want to take you down for 1 second, okay?
Why?
Hold on. You're going to see why. I want to bring you back up. Hey, Nicole, I didn't want to do this in front of my mom, but I want to read your comment. And I just want to say this. I know that you're a Remick. I know who you are. I'm not going to let you in. Okay. So Nicole 76 said, I don't get why you think it's about race. It's not. It's how Ace ran the villa. It's how Shelly freaked out about Chris. It's how long Ace and Shelly took too long to close off. So here is the thing where I want to say your argument makes no sense. You say it's how long and Ace Shelly took to close off, but we have 4 couples going to the finale and none of them are closed off. You have unmasked yourself. You have already taken off your own hood by your own words. Because if Ace and Shelly were eliminated because they took too long to close off, then why do we have the final 4 that we have? You races are never smart. You're never smart. You're never wise. You're never talented. You just at this moment have the ability to lie and connive and to make people believe falsities. You have been able, and I will give you your 10s, you have been able to convince the global majority that they are less than you. And you can't stand my people because we have looked behind the curtain and we have seen the wizard and we are not afraid. So you got to come here to any space where you think that we will win, that we will reign, especially the women, especially the Black women, because you know that the women are the influence. So you don't want us to get in these positions because if we do, the influence will then remove the power you have. You're scared. That's why you voted the way you voted. That's why you come here and you try to confuse the audience. That's why you do what you do. You're scared because you don't believe that you can compete, because the people who came here as property has surpassed you and lapped you multiple times, and you cannot catch up. So you got to sit here and continue to play these mind games. But I am not convinced, and I am not scared. It is absolutely about race. You know that. You want to play like you don't, but you know that I know that you know. So Nicole, thank you for giving me your view, but you can leave my home now. You can stay if you want to, but if you're going to stay, you're going to learn. If you're going to be a menace, I'm going to ban you because this is my house. You don't run this space. Thank you for the view. Hey, Mama.
Well, I guess you told her. Well, I guess you went on and told her.
I read that comment and I was just like, you just
Nicole 76. Pick yourself up off the floor, at least your face.
You just discredited your entire argument. Ace and Shelly went home because they didn't close off. Nobody in the finale is closed off. So what are you talking about? Girl, bye. Oh, girl, bye. Kaylee said, none of them like each other besides the 3 Musketeers of Shelly and Nicolandria. Yeah, if we have a reunion, it is going to be messy. TA said most of these couples never last except for the season 6 couples so far. Yeah, I agree. Mari said, Nikki, maybe Ace will come on a live with you. I would love it. I would love it. All Day Finesse said, Alondria's mom is a brick house. She sure is. Alondria,
she's a brick.
Hey.
How?
Wow.
Hey.
She's
She's mighty,
Like
mighty. Getting in it
let
all
all
hang
hang
out.
out. Oh,
Hey.
she's that bread. She sure is. She sure is. Her royal freshness said, Chris don't even like her. I cannot wait for him to get out the villa and be able to like tell us the truth.
Freely. Talk
Tell us the
freely.
truth. Yes. Destiny's Child said, anyone that says it's because Ace was running the villa, get the F out. Huda terrorized the villa for 2 weeks. Yep. I will say this. If there is a season 8, the cast from season 8, y'all better learn. If it's a problem, get them out because they could surpass all of you. Thid said Huda was so pissed that Chris didn't mention her as his peak. Yep. Yep. I feel like the only couples that can last a month out of the villa is Shalace and Nicolandria. I don't see anybody else lasting. Hey, Samantha. Samantha said, toxic people ruined this season. This ain't even Love Island anymore. It's not. Destiny's Child said, how tall is Chris's daddy? His mom is 6'8". He probably got the height from his mama. Scooter said, was it just me who didn't care about Huda seeing her daughter? If anything, it should have motivated her to leave. I will say, she was just like, I miss her every day, but I'm glad I'm here. And I'm like, it's the only reason why I'm saying that is because the only time we ever heard about Huda being a mother is when she was using it to manipulate people. When she found out she couldn't do that anymore, we've never heard about her being a mom. Ain't that crazy? Ooh, child. Mari said, Chris needs to be set free already. Of course he can't control that. Well, Chris can leave, right? He's obviously in it for the money. So here's the thing. Huda is just noticing that. And she's like, if I am not your highlight, then why are you here? So she might be clocking into that he's playing the game. Silky said, Chris's family came into the villa before the Huda Chris drama happened. The sis said last thing they saw was that he folded. Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe they don't know a lot.
Carrie said, Iris's mom absolutely don't like Pepe, and Shelly's dad don't like Ace. Shelly's dad was funny because Shelly's mom was like, yeah, Ace reminds me of your dad. And Shelly's dad was like, but I feel like he don't play about his baby. He gives me the kind of dad that nobody's going to be good enough for her. And I like that for her, that she has an overprotective dad. Miss Brown Sugar says, still watching the episode, but not the ending. Damn. I know. But you know what? Those kids are going to be okay. They're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Nasby said, Yepers, who the sister in the red, Nada was her name, I think, gave Regal Beauty. She reminds me of someone famous. I can't put my finger on. She looks a bit like, what's Ryan Gosling's wife? That Cuban lady, her features are very similar. She is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Obviously, me said, I need for Justine to make Nick and Ola after the sun. She needs to pass on some of that luck of the swirl onto Nicolandria for this vote. Denise said, the last thing Chris's mom and sis saw was that he folded, so they aren't aware of the other stuff with Chris. Okay. Thank you guys for giving me additional info. Give Me Shelter said, nice seeing Huda's original features in the villa finally. Fast forwarding through Huda's family because they are the core of her bad behavior. You could tell they are used to defending her BS. Child, you know what? Huda, with the family she has, she might end up with a reality show because people are trying to still capitalize off of the Kardashians because their popularity is fading. This is also why we're having what we're having right now, because a lot of non-Black women did the Kardashian method, right? Whereas you get a Black guy and you get your designer biracial baby and you try to become some kind of influencer with your Kardashian ideal family. Now that is dying out, people who invested in that lifestyle are crashing out because it's not trendy anymore. What's going to become trendy is Black love. That's what's going to happen because as the pendulum swings into America being more right-wing, every time that happens, Black Americans get Black as hell. Excuse me, mama. Get very, very Black. So now that there is that shift, it's going to be very crazy. So Huda for them was their last stand. Her royal freshness said Nick's mom probably got a Nicolandria. Oh, she sure does. She made a cake. She got a cake, a Nicolandria cake. You know she got a shirt. I wish she would have wore it there. Be Yourself said Ola is just so gorgeous in her body. She got it from her mama. Sure did. Nas said, I love that both Nicolandria moms were intent on letting that couple know that the fans been new.
Bingo.
Been new. And Ben peeped the connection and been waiting on them to stop being oblivious and lock in. Yep.
Oh, I bet
Yep.
you they locked. I bet you they locked, honey.
Brown Girl 44 said, if I ever get with a clear man, I hope his family is just like that. That's the thing. Like, y'all know, I always say for Black women who do swirl, make sure that that white guy is, that non-Black man is protecting you, and make sure he has a healthy family. I feel like Nicolandria, if this relationship goes a distance, she will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good non-Black family to be in. Miss Brown Sugar said, I'm so glad that Nicolandria got the reassurance she needed and that she's okay. Mom is proud of her and she could take the jump if she wants. Absolutely. I think that's just what she needed. Yep. Kaylee said she was a single mom, so I'm sure she grew up with her mother since. Yep. Ashley said, yeah, there was no mention of Sierra from his mom at all. His mama act like Sierra never happened. Black Fairy said, parents rooting for Nick and Ola were so cute. I know they can't wait to go home. Yep. And Nicolandria is coming for dinner. Fid said Nicolandria's parents were amazing. I love how both of them were like, we wanted this since day one. Yep. Nicolandria's mom said Nick was putting it down, but you weren't catching it. Nicolandria, I was about to be shook. Yep. Yep. Amirio said, I'm so happy that Nick and Nicolandria got affirmed by their moms and family. I feel like that's what Nicolandria needed. I really, really do. Jamia said, I noticed in the confessional towards the end with Nick and Nicolandria, Nick had nose contour on and lip liner on him, so they've been kissing. Yeah, we don't see them kiss, but they have been kissing, because if you watch the season back, there have been ample times where Nick has had Nicolandria's makeup on him,
and he don't like to take it off.
He liked to let people know.
Yeah,
he liked to let people know.
You got lipstick? He said, leave it on there.
Oh, my friend Miata just got to the end of the episode. She sent me a text that says, I hate these voters. I'm so sorry.
Miata.
Scooter said, I want the Huda fans to cry and see Nicolandria win. It may happen. It may happen. Raj said, I am so shocked but not surprised. But now we have to be locked in more than ever with Nicolandria for the win and vote for the people who are not able to vote. I'm a London babe. We can do it. We sure can. Selenia said, same. I would have voted for Amaya, but I am disappointed. It's so death. Silk says, Chris skipping over Huda and the highs and lows of the villa was diabolical. Now, listen, I will say Huda has not been my favorite because of how she is acting in that villa. And she lost me with the way she treated Shelly and Andrea. I was just like, yeah, I see who you are. I'm good on you. However, in that moment when that man had no highlights concerning her, she had every right to be upset. You're literally sleeping with that girl, and she is not the highlight of the villa.
Okay.
Ciao. Sarah said, what if the two bottom couples were Ace and Shelly and Nicolandria, and that's why they just did the lowest votes? I don't actually think that. I think that the couples that had the lowest votes, I think, were Iris and Pepe and Taylor.
Yeah, I don't believe that it was Shelly and Ace. I don't.
I think that Nicolandria and Taylor and Clark going up against each other was TV. That was entertainment. That was entertainment, because it would have, if it went by the lowest votes. That's why they say in no particular order, because if it went by the lowest votes, it should have been Iris and Pepe standing there with Taylor and Clark. But again,
I think that they eliminated Shelly and Ace. They were closed off, and they had revealed that they are going to be together outside of the villa. And I think they just took them off so that Nick and Nicolandria can win.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. But we'll see. Zora said, hey, Nikki, can you explain what you mean by the votes were promoted? I hate that Shalace is gone. So what has happened is, and I've talked about this before, we are living in a season of the troll. We have a troll who is the president, and we have to go far back as to Barack Obama's second term. Donald Trump started trolling him, saying he wasn't American and that we needed to see his birth certificate. And that picked up steam. And the reason why it picked up seen is because he became a meme and people were not taking anything that he was saying seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So he gained popularity. And as he gained popularity, people who had already disliked President Barack Obama because he is Black jumped on that, right? So then it became, oh, it's not a big deal. Trump is just trolling. He trolled all the way to the presidency twice. So we're living in the season now where we have podcasters who are, getting huge brand deals. Like Joe Rogan got like $100 million from Spotify, and the things that he spews on his channel is racist, misogynistic, transphobic, like saying that trans people are not human beings. And it's some of the nastiest things, saying the N-word for shock value, bringing Black people on his show to exploit, saying that women need to be treated like dogs. Like, this is somebody who was a comedian, but went to trolling because he couldn't get there. There wasn't anything for him. He was a washed up comic. So he became a troll, and that the meanness gained popularity. So with that popularity and with these people being legitimized, you have somebody like Kai Cenat. His entire platform was just trolling women, saying the nastiest things about women. Him and Drewski's doing lives back and forth where they're just degrading women, talking about Black Americans and saying that they have no culture, just really on his page spewing white supremacist rhetoric. But people just say, oh, he's just joking. He's just a troll. So we're in this season now where it's just the season of the troll. So it's really terrible people with extremely bad takes, and the bad takes and the things that they are saying is just a Nazi playbook, but it's coming from people who are not white males.
Wow.
Nobody is taking it seriously, right? And it's getting to the point where these people, because they have been platformed, because you have presidents and political figures and celebrities sitting down with these people, and news platforming these people and inviting them to award shows and putting them in the same space as people who are actually talented and
You're right, Nikki. You
and
are right.
legitimizing these people. So because of that, these people who are trolling are having major influence because they are being legitimized. So you have young people, very young people, spewing this Nazi handbook rhetoric that these people are spewing on their podcasts and on their streams and on their YouTube channels because it's been legitimized. And people just like, oh, he's a streamer. No, he's a Nazi. But nobody is addressing it because we're in the season of trolling. So what has happened to this show and the votes is that the show has been trolled by these people who are basically just, a lot of them are young. So I will give them grace there, but they do not realize that they are ingesting white supremacist rhetoric, right? And that they are that they are sheep being led to slaughter by these false shepherds. So they are ingesting these things and going to these women's pages and calling them N-words, placing Nicolandria's head on the face of George Floyd, hacking their pages. These were the same people that were harassing Huda. They just shifted to a different cast member, but they did it to everybody on the show and nobody's catching it. They're saying, oh, it's this fan base, it's that fan base. It is the same fan base of trolls. They do it to cause confusion and misery because they are just miserable people. And they do this because they see people who they have disdain for having a good time. And they want to come over here because they don't feel welcomed or they have some issues with these people for whatever reason. And they want to just make this an unenjoyable experience for everybody. So they see two Black girls who are popular, right? They first saw a Palestinian girl who was very popular. And so they just came in and was absolutely terrible to her. Because of Huda's actions, her popularity faded. Then all of a sudden, these two Black girls started getting very popular. So they switched gears. They're not Huda fans. They're just agitators. They're trolling. I'm even seeing TikTok videos of young people who are, happy that they're trolling the show and they're posting how people are reacting and laughing about it. I even had somebody in here do that to me. They're getting an enjoyment out of making people uncomfortable. And that's what happened. Stuff like this happens when you have troll culture. Now we have the biggest trolls of them all as our president. And this is what we're dealing with. So that's what I mean. That community has come over here and perverted the show and perverted the votes. They're voting on multiple phones and, in multiple ways. They are buying bots to vote. It's all been rigged. Hopefully production is going to see it and do something about it. I don't know, but it's just extremely unfortunate. She was over it. She's been over it. And now that she's out of the villa, I hope she can see what's really going on. And I hope, when she does speak, that she speaks to it and moves on and lives her life. Hey, Tia Bia said the villa was not protected. The producer should have made Huda leave as soon as she went off on Jeremiah. Absolutely. Nita said, I hate to see Chase go, but they shot themselves in the feet when they voted off Jeremiah and Hannah. They should have voted off Amaya and Pepe instead. That vote came back to bite them. I will say this is, we also are dealing with the work of the Islanders, because Huda should not still be there. Jeremiah should still be there. Huda should not. Tatiana said, I'm sick to my stomach. I can't believe this happened. I'm not watching the rest of the season. I'm so sorry. Effie said, Shelly and Ace were the strongest couple, period. I'm upset for them, and they were the only people closed off. Everybody in the finale is open. Carrie said, Nicolandria, don't let Amaya drawn up scenes let one of the Casa boys win. Like Chris said, I'm telling y'all, watch the previous conversations closely. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I'm voting for Nicolandria because I love them, but I'm also voting for Nicolandria because of Landria. And I've seen the hate that she's gotten, and I've realized that I got to clock in for my people. So I'm voting for a fellow Black woman as well. But also, I just feel like their relationship makes more sense to me. I like Amaya and Brian. I don't think that Brian is where Amaya is. I like Amaya, but not enough that I'm going to screw over Nicolandria, who I think will have something outside of the villa. Don't riot. Just protest how we do Target. Edge said, Pepe and Iris are a white couple. Pepe is a white Latino. He's the OG white. Pepe is the whitest man there. A Wonderful Life said, Nikki, like you said, we just need to love on them and support them in their next chapter. Hashtag Chiles proudly voted for Nicolandria. I agree. Selenia said, I have been wanting for Chris to self-eliminate. I think he will. Pepe said, the fact that not only Huda, but her scamming sisters keep going on about this alleged growth is sick. Is the girlfriend in the room with us? Listen, they want their sister to win. Hannah said, anti-Blackness from the contestants and the viewers ruined the show. I agree. Tatiana said, I'm tired of watching this show with kids. They're to blame for swinging the votes. Huda should not be here. Chris don't even like her. I also agree. Mom, are you asleep? Mom! Mom!
What?
You're asleep!
Am I?
Yes! Go. Yeah, take a nap. Scooter said, she fought me to get up here, and then she goes to sleep. Scooter said, my workmates, I'm so thankful for them. They Gen Z and don't like Huda at all. Are they Zennials? And keep in mind, I am not talking about all Gen Z guys. I'm just talking about the ones who voted for this and the ones who have been red-pilled. Trinity said, it's beyond Huda's actions at this point. It's the fact that Gen Z thinks Huda and Chris are a healthy couple. Gen Alpha too. That's who I've been fighting with. Jennifer Miller said, I think the pandemic gave everyone too much time on their hands to listen to Red Pill podcasts. Yep. So now half of my generation are bigoted losers who can't think for themselves. Yep. Alexis Winster said Chris was scared that his family would tell the truth. Yes, I agree about how they felt about Huda. Clearly, the family was told to be nice. I think so too, but I also agree with the Star family that they didn't see everything. Celeste says, as someone who is younger Gen Z, I'm trying to convince everyone around me to just look at all the information. Girl, I know it's hard. I'm so sorry, Celeste. I'm so sorry. Enrico said, no, today I'm going to grieve. I'll get up later. I'm sorry, but I can't. It's okay. They're going to be fine. My mom, she lifted my spirits, and I hope she lifted your spirits as well. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I know Ace's mom put a prayer over them. They're going to be fine. Titanium said, it's a microcosm of the real world. I agree. All Glenn said, I heard on some podcast about Amaya papaya drink. They may have been joking. That would be genius if that happens. A Wonderful Life says some Black creators also see how quick they get followers and deals by going against other Black women. Look up Step and Fetch It. It works until it doesn't, because at the end of the day, tokens always get spent. Devonta said, especially the situation with Nicolandria and Taylor. Yeah, everybody is now Team Taylor all of a sudden. Okay, we know why. Nasby said, Nikki, you know that overall these dating reality shows are skewed to have the women chasing the men. Look at the Bachelor franchise. The Bachelorette gets treated like contestants when they're the leads. I agree. Wado said, child, when I saw them, I was like, why didn't they apply? Yeah, Ace's brother is a cutie. D1 Jalen said, I can't wait until Nick and Nicolandria go on the date and they have a replay of their time in the villa, where from day one, when she kissed him first, then next in the blindfold, Nick kissed her again. Yep. Pepe said, exactly. White spaces will not have their best interests at heart. They need to go in safe spaces. I agree. Catherine says, Shelly and Ace going to be on After Sun tomorrow. I am interested in that. I've never watched After Sun, but I'm watching that one. Pepe said, well, we see the dangerous product of what a sexual South Africa injected into the States. Yes, I saw it was like a lot of like young people too. And I'm like, oh God, all the kids are red pill. Scooter said, the parasocialness of watching through clips, they ruined everything. Yep. Rico said, Nikki, we love you, but we're tired. We just want to be mad and grieve tonight. It's okay, baby, grieve. I'm fine. I am fine with that. Yeah, the BuzzFeed article where they said they wanted to punch Shelly in the face, give Shelly a knuckle sandwich. Evil. Shoni said that must be why Huda fans like her, because they see what she did as standing up for herself, when in reality, she just verbally assaulted Jeremiah. I'm telling you, Huda's going to have the biggest whirlwind when she comes out, because to this very moment, she still thinks that America voted to break up Jeremiah to protect her and Jeremiah. She thinks that America is on her side. She has no idea. She has no idea. Same. Yeah, I think Clark may be seeing a different side of him as well. Kingdom Lex said it's probably recency bias. They still have little grudges, so when they come out the villa, they don't know how the public feels about everyone, and just telling them doesn't do enough to change the opinion. Let me tell you something. They're all just clout chasing. Whatever, they're trying to build a following. They see what has happened with Huda, so they're trying to say like negative things about popular people or the Blacks to get views and votes. And I'm just like, you do not realize how inauthentic that fan base is. You do not get it. Half of them are not even real. Half of them are not even American. Half of them are following her just out of spite. When the show is done, they won't be there. They will not be there. And I feel so bad for all of them, because I'm just like, you guys could have really topped season 6, and it did not happen. Ace is going to do very, very well. Destiny's Child said, I will never watch Huda on my TV screen ever again after this. Listen, she might be on some other reality TV shows. We will see. Janelle said, Nikki, do you think the season 6 cast are in it for the long haul, or is it PR relationships? I don't think so. I think those relationships are real. I will say, I think there is a lot of pressure for them to work those relationships out because of the fan bases that they have built through those relationships. But I don't see Janae or Serena staying in a relationship just for PR. I think they actually really do want it. And so we'll see. We will see. But I think I think these couples may last. Shoni said, and how are we voting for our favorites with no final dates? Like, the season was shot, to be honest with you. I will say the audience didn't have much to choose from. Betty said, it's like production and Huda hated that Shelly and Nicolandria are wanted instead of past seasons where Black women struggled and left to compete for one man because other men prefer non-Black women and paid them death. Does. Well, like I said before, the pendulum is, as we go more right wing, people, especially my people, get more black and become very intentional about showing how black and proud we are. So I don't think they expected that. And here we are. Mama Two said, I don't respect Chris's mom. Her lack of honesty disturbed me. Additionally, if Huda wins, that doesn't mean that Chris will get any money. He has to get the envelope with the money, or she has to share. True that. But again, I don't think, like other people have been saying, I don't think she saw the Huda confrontations. Natalie said, all this hate for a show that's supposed to be a summer fling is crazy. Social media is ruining so much. Yep. I'm telling you, them COVID years did some damage. Peyton said, Ola has Crocs, Fenty, Hilton, NFL, NYS, and college football, all in Love Island comments and Nicolandria comments. So hopefully she will be good when she gets out. Yeah, I think she will be fine. Nicolandria will be fine. I'm just, my babies, Ace and Shelly, I'm just concerned. Ken said, I think Chris's mom is tired of her son sleeping on her couch. He doesn't have a job. She probably hopes that 100K helps him get out. Child, that woman does not want Hurricane Huda in her bloodline. Shay said, oh, I think we are cooler than most people. Yes, but people don't realize how focused we are on our own stuff. True that. Carrie said, did y'all see the way Chris rubbed his hands when it said congratulations, ready to snatch that money? Listen, if they get it and he has to, that's going to be messy. Hannah said, Alondria and Shelly will be fine. They will get a lot of brand deals, prayerfully. All Glenn said, I am going to go satisfy my anger and watch Dexter. There you go. Mari said, yes, supposedly they are doing background checks. It's insane. Clearly they haven't been doing squat. They got to do it better. They have to do it better. Kaylee said, also, not Mama Star coming out first with the disagreement, but preach Mama Star. They're going to be fine. I agree. Jim Crow Island, indeed. Oh, my dear. Audrey said, I knew Shalace wasn't going to win when they were called safe in the beginning last episode. I hope there's no animosity when Nicolandria is staying longer than them. I don't think so, especially when they find out everything that has happened. Corky said, I think Chris's mama only like Huda because of the Huda fans. Probably. Elrico said, Mama is right. Nicolandria needs more affection. All that's how you feel talk is boring. Yeah, they got to give us some more. Hannah said, Variety posted their interview with Shalace. Variety, they're here to stay and they will be extremely fine. Amen. Darwin said, justice for Shalace. I was holding space. Me too. Ashley said, I need a Nicolandria date and I need her to show some sort of affection. Remember, he didn't choose Bella because she wasn't affectionate. Yeah, but they're friends to lovers. And I think now with her mom giving her the green light, I think we're going to get it. Shay said it's okay for Shalace to make it. At least we won't split the vote. They definitely deserve to not only make it to the finals but win. I agree. Miss Afro Majestic said, let me get my black hat and throw it in the air. That's our signal. Yes. Justamina says, someone in the chat said I can still vote from Australia. Someone put me on. I'm serious. Tia Via said Brian, during his conversation with his family, gave me he was not serious. I don't think he is. I don't think that that's a bad thing, but I just think that Amaya is more invested than he is. Fitz said the people voting for Amaya and Brian, can you honestly say if Jaden were still there in the villa that he would not have gone after and been with her rather than Amaya? Ooh. Nas B said Fenty Beauty followed Amaya, Alondria, and Shelly in the past few days. Pop Crave posted it. We will see. Scooter said, I think the only relevant dumpies might be Clark and Jeremiah, maybe Hannah, and definitely Shelly and Ace. Yeah, Jeremiah leaving the villa and Huda staying shifted this season drastically. Ashley said, just check threads and people think they saw Ola's makeup on Nick in her confessional. Yep. If so, why aren't they showing that? Well, they stay hugged up. Black Healer said Pepe has come over. How can that man have a type? Well, he's the OG white. Carter said, I didn't watch this episode. I pray Nico is giving me feels because I can't vote for the other couples. I'm taking Alondria to the end. Nasby said, Chris was shocked that his family didn't offer any critiques, and I bet he knows that they'll tell him more off air. Absolutely. Brittany said, this show taught me all the signs of a man that hates you. Yes. Chris with Huda and Nick with Sierra. Pay attention, ladies, because that switch up with Nick was something serious. Yep, watch it. Wit said, yes, please vote Nicolandria. We have to show America Black is beautiful and classy. I don't want to show America nothing. They know. But I want my girl to take this win. Scooter said, the gag is Chris and Brian probably think they're the prize when Amaya and Huda are more liked. That's the only reason they went so far. Child, they don't get it. They don't get it. Yep. Thorin said, Nick's mom down there said, don't mess this up for us, Nick. Yep. Jacomi family said, I cried like a baby. I've been rooting for Ace and Shelly since day one. Like, there's no way I'm shocked, but I voted for Nicolandria, my second favorite. But I'm really upset. That's the thing. Everybody voted for Nicolandria. It's just like Shelly and Ace went home. Ciao. Jacomi family also said the final four don't make sense. They either a new connection, one don't really like the other, and one don't make sense that they voted out people that closed off and had a strong connection. It's crazy. I will say this season, I think it's absolutely going to change how they do voting. I think it's absolutely going to change because people are talking about that. Everybody's just like, everybody in the finale is not closed off and none of these relationships are serious. It's not Love Island. It's not the name of the show. So a lot of things are going to change next season. Miss Mo said, everything is about race. I don't know why people are still trying to deny it. It's either gaslighting or lack of empathy at this point or both. I don't even think it's ignorance anymore. Oh, it's not ignorance. It's absolutely intentional. They want to confuse and just disrupt everything. Not over here. This foundation is solid. On solid rock I stand. Thony said, last year it was Leah and this year Amaya and Huda. Black women can never be the most lovable and likable, and it pisses me off. Yep. We're just out here being magical, and people hate that. It's hard being the blueprint. Miss Afro Majestic said, I'm going to miss Alondria and Shelly waking up and wrapping the blanket and getting ready together. Me too. Me too. Hayat said, no one will watch Love Island if it wasn't for Huda. Now, you know that's a damn lie. People come to Love Island and watch Love Island or anything that is popular because of the Black people. Black people are the influence. You know that. You know that. You can try to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Nothing is hot until we say it is. Let's not play these games. It will never be you. It will never be you. That's why you mad. Shay said, who do y'all think will last after the villa? Nicolandria and Shalace. That's all I see right now. Miss Mo said, Huda is likely using Chris as much as he's using her. Absolutely. She has known that he doesn't like her. And she knows it now. She knows it now. Ken said, Nick's mom will be the president of his fan club. Absolutely. She's locked in with her baby. She's locked in. Crafty Beach said, how could we lose every couple the second they get closed off? So loveless. It's not Love Island. It's not Love Island. Lord knows what it is. Season Lamb said, I'm not consuming any more Love Island. Hating everything right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're going to get our joy back. I'm probably going to, I'm going to do a poll tonight. I'll do it tonight and I'll leave it up for the weekend. You guys let me know the next show y'all want us to watch and review together. Because we got to get the joy back. Love Island has drained us. Ed said that was so disappointing when Kai Cenat said that because his whole drip is based off of, well, he's ignorant. That's the thing. This is a very young person who is just ignorant. And that's the problem. We are being led by so many misinformed people who are not educated. It's like if you no educated person would say that. Poliver Girl said, the only thing that gave me peace this year is seeing Black people refusing to engage in a rage baiting. I decided I've watched till 2027. I know that's right. Nas B said, Jeremiah and Adriana would have been closed off. Yep. Knocked out. Knocked out. Pepe said, clock it, Nikki. We need to protect the community we have in the villa, and that's Nicolandria. Par. Connie said, not the, am I? Why you scared me? Knocked out. Kirsten said, hey, Nikki, just finished the episode. Going to rewind and be replay gang, but that ending was a shock. Voted for Alondria. Well, listen, at the end of the day, although we don't like what has happened throughout the season, Love Island is going to write this season off as being extremely successful because of how viral it has become. Even if we hated it, they're going to get another season. They're going to get another season. Hey, Marlene. Marlene said Chris saying his high was his family. I was like, now that girl got a reason to be mad because I would have felt some way too. You giving me back shots every night and I'm not the highlight for you? Okay. Kingdom Less said, I don't know which shows Huda can go after this because she has a genuinely draining personality. This is the thing. Whatever show she goes to, she better hope it's not left up to votes, because if she goes on a show like another competition show and America does not have to vote, she is going to get a reality check. Out like a light. She won't change the name, y'all. She won't change the name. Brittany said, imagine they win and Chris gets that's the only thing. Because if either one of them get the envelope, they are not splitting that money. They are not splitting that money. That is the only way I would be like, oh, that was a good season. If we get something like that, because those two hate each other, they are not splitting that money. Chris, who needs a job, is not splitting that money. Hey, Miss Brown Sugar. Miss Brown Sugar said also, Chris's family has seen how these insane fans operate. They are Black women on TV too and have the same concerns as the rest of us. I agree. Crystal said, please, I almost stopped watching completely because of Huda. Yes, and the contestants, the Villaites, they had an opportunity. The show put Huda in the bottom so many times, and they didn't do it. Crystal said, oh, Adriana is spilling some tea about the Stand on Business episode about being mean girls. Looks like more lies were revealed about Huda. Well, it was revealed that she sat on Ace's face. She sat on that man's face. Yikes. Carrie said Shelly needed to combine with us Nicolandria fans to win. Absolutely. B. Nickel said, what about Huda and the DR talking about making out with all of American and Chris saying disgusting? They don't like each other. Kingdom said Chris taking the money would be the biggest chef kiss. We will see. He can't stand her, but she sees it now. Cece said also Shelly got 1 million followers. Yes, she got 1 million. Yay. Betty said Chris, as the Black man in America, is not stealing the money from a white adjacent passing woman. He's very aware of optics. We will see. Money, all that money on the line. The Lux Explorer said, how do you think Love Island could revive their image? Could they pause Love Island for a while? This new fan base is so disturbing. They hijacked Alandria's account. Here's the thing. They're going to get renewed because of the virality of the show. I think they're already making changes now. They have to be more stricter with the background checks. They need to go back to hiring normal people, and they need to make sure the fan base cannot rig the votes. If I were them, I would change the voting to voting two couples in the bottom and having the Islanders choose. I trust the Islanders more than America voting because they've been there longer. If the Islanders got to vote who would stay, Ace and Shelly would be there and Pepe and Iris will leave. And that would just make more sense. So I don't think America should be able to vote people out, especially now that the fan base has been exploited. Mariski said, look at the way Huda has surgically enhanced herself. LOL, we're the blueprint. Oh, absolutely. But Black women know that. We don't care, though. It's just like, we know who we are. We stand in our confidence, but that's why we're not liked, right? Because when you live in a Western society, you have to conform to whiteness. And Black people do not conform to whiteness. Like, our entire identity is opposite of whiteness. So because we don't conform, we are constantly told that we are the problem. And it's just something that we just know. We know that our love, we know that our pride is a protest. It's how we fight back. Ms. Brown said, I had no doubt about her behavior during the heart rate challenge. Me either. Everyone in the villa was clear that she was wrong for that. Yep. Justamina said, I noticed Ace said things like we're locked in and no switching up when leaving. It's almost like they are anticipating what's happening out there. Yeah. Give Me Shelter said the voting has to be left to adults. They have to figure out a way to ensure 21 plus are allowed to vote. They also have to, like, here's the thing. There was no way they should not have looked at the abnormality of those votes because they're very aware, especially Ariana, very, very aware. Who can I just say? She has disappointed me. And this is why you just can never go up for a white person. The minute you start to put a white person on a pedestal, every time, she has disappointed me, guys. Disappointed me. Emerald said, whoever said if Huda was booted, people would stop watching. Remember, the majority of the people watching this year all started because of Serena's. Yeah, it's a Black woman. Absolutely. If Black people were not watching this show, it would not be popular. Let's be real here. Scooter said Shelly was never jealous, just weirded out because Huda's a friend. And guys, I don't care if it's a TV show or whatever. If I'm dating a guy and I'm really liking a guy, who cares how many of them I'm interested in? You cannot call yourself my friend, my sister, and say we're in a sisterhood, and you put your coochie lips on his face. We're gonna have a problem. If Shelly did the same thing, if Jeremiah was in that villa, because Shelly could have did it to Chris. She don't like him. Chris ain't the kind of Black that she want. She would have been fine. If it were Jeremiah, child, Kaylee said Clark was shaking her head when asked about the heart rate challenge. Yep. The Lux Explorer said, tonight solidified Nicolandria's bond. Do you see how his mom looked at him for those steamy scenes with Sierra? She was like, Nicholas. I love his mom. Mariski said, free Chris. He was looking for every possible out. Got to see it through, my boy. Yep. Yep. Hey, JL. JL said, I just went to check Huda's before photo. She was very pretty. It said that she thought she had to change her appearance. That is what happens when you live in a westernized society, unfortunately, for so many people. Unfortunately, where is it? Too silent. Absolutely disappointed. And that is why she should not have been vocal. That is why she should not have been vocal. She should have stayed out of it and not had opinions. Now that she has had so many opinions, the fact that she has no opinions on the racism that Shelly and Nicolandria are receiving is very loud for me. Very, very, very loud for me. Pepe said, Ariana is a disappointment. A white woman would eventually give you when you give her the benefit of the doubt. That's why I'm very cautious with dealing with them, especially in the workplace. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Kaylee said, Black men locked in on Love Island this season. Hence, yeah, because Black people are the influence. Because Black women are making their Black boyfriends and husbands watch the show with them. Now the men are locked in. And that influence is talking about what's happening. Black people have to realize who they are. With our powers combined, Tony said Huda was banging furniture for more than 5 minutes, but we only see 30 seconds of it. Yep. Carrie said, Black women are everything, everywhere, all the time. Love them all. And my K. Michelle voice. Purr. The Lux Explorer said, Nikki, do you see the way Coco and some of the Costa girls have been running their mouths carelessly about Nicolandria on the podcast? She lost a lot of Black women support and turned off her comments. She should have. It was uncalled for. She was not even, when she was in the villa, Nicolandria wasn't even there. So how do you have an opinion? It's clout chasing. Now you got to get a regular 9 to 5. You could have really ate off of this, but you want to be stupid. Now you got to go back to working part-time at Clears. Alma said, I think the show needs a Black woman host. I'd watch Arlette from Pop the Balloon. Oh, she's too Black. And I'm just being honest about that. They would probably get a biracial, a white passing biracial. Cece said, oh, this season definitely showed me how powerful we are. Absolutely. I'm going to end with my super chats. I forget when I get new ones. I think I got this from Paige. I'm just going to say it again. Ace's brother and Brian's friend could have been bombshells. I agree. Her royal freshness. Thank you for the super chat. Said Shelly and Ace are going to get endorsements in book. They can hate all they want, but they ain't stopping God's blessings for them. Per Autumn, thank you for the super chat. Autumn said, folded is slang for doing the do. So Shelly and Ace probably did it. I agree about Chris's family and their opinion about Huda. They played for TV. Absolutely. Kimberly, thank you so much for the super chat. Her royal freshness, thank you so much for the super chat. Her royal freshness said, I need Nick to channel his inner black man because we know it's there. Nas B, thank you for the super chat. Nas said, just saw Ace and Shelly interview on Access Hollywood. I cannot wait to watch it. Nas B, thank you for another super chat. Nas B said, Nick's mom said, I've saved the best for last, and she hugged Ola, not her own son. I need him to lock in and give us a feast while we have 4K cameras, period. F.A., thank you for the super chat. Effie said, thank you, Nikki, for speaking the truth. Always, always. I mean, I don't know how not to, guys. I got to be honest with you, because it's just like we're in such a bad time. I'm just like, we got to fight this, y'all. We cannot allow this to just like, we got to do something. Even if I'm on my little YouTube channel, I got to say something, because this isn't okay. Her royal freshness, thank you for the super chat. Her royal freshness said, Nick said he loved his expensive chocolates. I cannot get out of my head when Nicolandria said, I got chocolate on you after they kissed, and he said, oh, he's going to feast on that young woman. Her royal freshness, thank you for the super chat. Her royal freshness said, I can't wait to watch the playback just to see Nikki wake up mama. My family is a hoot. Eva Empathy said, hey, y'all, let's end the night with some more likes. Thank you so much. Nikki has been here for us every step of the way. It's the least we can do. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I totally appreciate it. I love you guys. It's unfortunate what happened to Shelly and Ace, but they will be okay. Damn. That sucks for them. But Nicolandria for the win. I'll see you guys Sunday. Bye. Get some rest.